Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. It is the 12th of July, 2016. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
Totes.
I'm lying, it's totally average. And
It's a wonderful, beautiful day. We've decided, so...
It's a wonderful, beautiful day.
Yeah.
The consensus is in.
A lovely midsummer day.
Yes.
Indeed.
It's a wonderful, beautiful day, it is.
That's why we all have our blinds
all right.
closed.
It's a wonderful, beautiful day. It is?
Hey, quite finished. Quite finished with the mockery of my nationality and my heritage.
It's
I don't know what you mean, all right.
It's no mockery, it is. It ain't.
It ain't at 8?
Trust me, only we're allowed to do that. That's not okay. Oh God, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We occasionally talk about video games, and sometimes, when paid to, we talk about crunchyroll.com/TotalBiscuit. Go get your free trial for unlimited anime.
And power.
We can only guarantee anime.
What?
Oh.
We're guaranteeing power. And
No,
power.
no guaranteed power. No, absolutely
Power
not.
over those who are weaker than you.
Unlimited anime and power.
No, no.
The power.
Yes.
Stop that. Stop it.
Yes. It's a guarantee.
Don't you think enough people have had trouble with the FTC over the past few weeks without you going and ruining everything? Jesus.
Oh, sorry. Am I guaranteeing things that
You're guaranteeing power.
that our sponsor wasn't approving of?
So I found this new
Okay.
anime. I'll link it in the description if you guys want to check it out. I totally don't own it, though. I've got nothing to do with it.
No, I have nothing. Nope. I've never been associated with that company at all.
I have never had sexual relations
Nope.
with that anime.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
There's new stuff out on Crunchyroll. You've been talking a lot about that, Dodger. You seem quite excited about some stuff and not so excited about one of them, which
I'm not
thoroughly disagree with you on, by the way. But
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not as excited about Berserk. I don't think they needed to go the CGI route, but that's kind of just something they've been playing with in a lot of different shows, which is fine. I'm just not super jazzed about it.
yeah, for me, it's like that series, I think, was like one of the first anime I ever watched. It was like 15 years ago, and it's still probably one of the best. So to finally see it come back in any form that isn't utter dog shit is okay with me.
Yeah.
I watched the
Fair
first
enough.
episode, and it was pretty good, actually. I don't mind the animation style. It's definitely a bit different. They maybe overdid the whole... What's this... sort of they did this hand animated style where they've got these fake kind of pencil lines on fucking everything.
Yeah.
There's that. They maybe overdid that a little bit, but I'll say, like, the sound is great. His fucking giant sword doesn't sound like a sword. It sounds like a giant lump of iron, which is exactly what it fucking is. It's just clang, clang,
perfect,
bong.
yeah.
It's like, yeah. And there's blood everywhere, and everyone's fucking dead, which is exactly what I expected out of Berserk, so that's okay.
If you want to watch something this season that is literally the opposite of Berserk, Sweetness and Lightning is finally out, and I'm so excited about it. I read the manga. Sweetness and Lightning is about a single dad whose wife passed away 6 months ago, and he has a little daughter who's precious, and he's trying to like raise
Is her
her.
name Sweetness? And is his
Her
name
name is
Lightning? Oh, is his name Sweetness? That's even better.
I don't think they were being literal with that title.
It's so precious. It's just like, I've recommended it to so many people, and everyone who's gone to watch it has been like, my heart, I can't with all of these feelings. It's just a really, really sweet show about a dad who decides he wants to learn how to cook and feed his daughter good food, and they grow closer, and it's just so
I watch
cute.
anime to see people die, not to feel, damn it.
Sounds like a Hallmark movie.
It's adorable. Look, just go watch it. Go try it out. And what's the other one? There's Bananya, if you want a short form that's fucking weird. It's
Well,
Bad
you also
Banana.
can't shut up about
Bad in
ReZero,
it.
apparently. You
Well,
keep
yeah, but
talking
that's
about
like
that
halfway
one.
over.
Yeah.
ReZero wound up being really good, I think. It's dragged on a little bit for some people because one of the major elements of the show is like repeating certain sections, but I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
You can check all those out on crunchyroll.com/TotalBiscuit. Go get your free trial. We like Crunchyroll money. You like Crunchyroll anime. Give Crunchyroll money. They'll keep giving us money. In return, they give you anime. It's a brilliant deal. You can't possibly imagine how awesome a deal it is for us. It's a brilliant deal for us. Our special guest today is DansGaming, the man who spawned 1,000 faces welcome finally to the show.
Hello, great to be here finally.
Yeah, Dan.
Something of a legend amongst the Twitch community, I have to say. You've been streaming for a long time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your history on this particular platform?
Sure. I started about 7 years ago when it was Justin TV back in the day. I've been streaming. I'm a variety streamer. I've been streaming on Twitch. I don't really do YouTube very much, so I'm primarily just Twitch only. And I've been going at it for a good 7 years now. Probably my biggest claim to fame would be my global emote, Dan's Game.
Dan's Game, yeah.
That everyone spams all the time.
That's what's happening right now. Yes, they could.
Right now, yeah.
They couldn't resist it. They couldn't resist it.
I'm unfamiliar with this. I don't.
About 4 years ago, when they made Twitch, I was one of the first admins for the site, and all admins get an emote. And they're like, what would you want for an emote if you could have one? And I was on stream. I was just like, I don't know, maybe a disgust face. And I just made a face and they screen capped it. And then they made that an emote. Like they just did it without my knowledge. Just there. And now it's for a legend.
That reminds me a little bit of what they did with their Better TV, where LOL is now my damn face all over the place. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, God. What bothers me more about LOL is I'm not allowed to use LOL as my own channel emote because the guy that took the photo literally DMCA'd me over that photo.
What?
Yeah, I shit you not.
Sucks.
Because it's like, I don't want you using this if it's a sub-only emote. It's like, well, I can't create non-sub-only emotes.
Yeah.
That's Twitch's. I'm like, fuck. What would annoy me more than anything is that he did that before, like, saying, hey, if you're using this, could you maybe pay me for licensing it? I'm like, yeah, I could have done that, except, you fucking DMCA takedown me before that became a thing. So now it's all over Better TTV, and he's not getting paid anything. So well done to him for that, you jackass. Yeah, at some point I'll actually remake that, but that would involve me having hair again, and therein lies the problem. But maybe I just shave it all out, go full on Dan, and remake that emote. That's the way to go.
I like it.
No problems there.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Commercial Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. Coming up, we're going to be talking about the games we've been playing this week, probably for the next few hours. If it's not 90% Pokemon Go because of these three, then I'll be very happy if it's not 90% Pokemon Go, but it's probably going to be, let's be honest.
What?
Red or dead. Hashtag Team Valor.
Yep, Team Valor.
Danny,
Yep.
Team Valor!
I'm Team Valor.
That's what's up.
I took over 2 gems this morning.
Nice.
I'm
All
team
right,
play a
so-
better game, so
Oh God, you're such a Team Instinct, TB. I just
God.
don't
the hell is
understand
what?
you. First off, Team Valor people, notice they immediately had to announce they were Team Valor. Like, hey, everyone, we're Team Valor, everyone, because they're the Team Valor are those people. They're
We're aggro and competitive, and we're totally
they're
willing
the
to
vegan
acknowledge
hipsters
that.
of video gaming. Hey guys, I can't eat this because it's not made from pressed farts and boy tears. That's what
You didn't really think that one through before you started, but
didn't.
I don't need to think it through. I don't need to think pressed fart.
Not very Team Mystic of you. You're supposed to be smarter than that, Jesse. I thought that you would.
It was a smart thing. You're just so Team Valor. You didn't get it, dummies.
I'm noticing a lot of sort of pent-up
Anyway.
anger in you here. The tribalism is real.
It got
it's super
aggressive
real.
immediately.
It's super real. Poor Team Mystic is left out of the fight. There's no, it's Mystic and Instinct together against the annoyance that is Valor, and they're the worst. They're the worst.
No, man, it doesn't have to be that way. Team Purple,
No,
OTP against the Instinct menace.
no, Instinct isn't a menace. They're just misunderstood, and only Team Mystic wants to help them. That's all.
So, for the benefit of those that don't play this silly thing, can you actually explain what the fuck you're talking about?
Oh, gibberish. We're talking gibberish. This is nonsense. It's literally just you picked a color, red, blue, or yellow, and that's it. People have made this into something it should not be, but whatever.
It's supposed to be like Team Valor is the honorable competitive ones. Team Mystic are the intelligent wise ones. And then Team Instinct is just like, we love Pokemon. Isn't that the idea?
I don't think there is an idea. It's like it's their 3 colors, and you watch a gym cycle between all 3, and you're like, oh, all right. And then you take a gym quickly, and then you're like, I got some coins for that shit. And then that's pretty much it. Like, it's not about that. It's about the aspect of like, I'm going to go around a city with my friends and like have fun and get Pokemon and like go to Santa Monica Pier and see how like there's like 1,200 people all standing around like Pokemon. It's just an experience.
We were at one of the piers near like Torrance Redondo Beach area last night. We were like, let's go to a different pier. And we were there at like midnight, filled with people. There was like at least 150 people walking around catching Pokemon. And it was amazing. Like one person would be like, there's a fucking Magmar over here. And everyone would just run. Everyone would just be like, what the fuck? And like run over. There was one dude who did that. And he was like, yeah, he yelled that there was a Magmar. Everyone ran over to get the Magmar. And then he was like, yeah, I just clicked on it. It says it's got 3 feet next to it. And we were like, oh, fuck you, dude.
People are absolutely crazy about this game. Like I was alone in a park near my house, and I decided I'm going to drop a lure while I'm here on the Pokestop. And kid you not, 10 minutes later, there were 15 people at 10 p.m. just crowded around me farming the lure.
We hung out with some high school kids in a park. Sounds sketchy. It's not, I swear. We were walking across a crosswalk at 2 a.m. the other night, and a police car drove up next to us and went, you guys playing Pokemon? We're like, yeah. He goes, be safe. And just drove away. It was amazing. I love it.
There is no level of sketch that is too sketchy for this game. I was coming home from the office and it was really late, and it was like 2 a.m. and I drove home, and I know that right before my house is a shopping center, and in that shopping center is not only 2 gyms but like 3 Pokestops. Like, it's amazing. And I'm part of like the gym teams for those 2 gyms. So I was like, gotta go there, do my shit, make sure my gyms are good. I pull up as these guys were trying to like take the gym. And there I am in my car, staring down another group of guys in their car. And I was like, holy fuck, we are giant nerds. I was like, we are the nerdiest. And I waved. I was like, hi. And they were like, hi. And then they drove off. And I was like, oh, I didn't have to fight for that. And I was like, oh, all right. Thanks, non-aggressive nerds. I love you. And it's a weird, like yesterday, after I left, I like was down the street from the office, and these guys were taking a stop or taking a gym, and I went in because there's a brief moment when you can take a gym as someone else is taking it when it flips over to white.
Yeah.
So I inserted one of my guys in, and they all I was like, I was like, what up? Yeah, that was me.
I think one of my favorite stories about you walking around is being like, I'm just gonna, walk around and see what's going on. And every single gym you went by was owned by Jared Rosen.
Oh my God. The very first night that I decided to do a Pokemon
whale.
Jared was like, yeah, hey, I'm going to go down by your way earlier today. Do you want to come out? I was like, no, I'm busy. But later that night, I was like, F it, I need to go like do this. So I went for a walk, and it was like maybe 10 o'clock at night. Every gym I went to had HPG Jared. I was like, this is like 15 gyms. How do you think there are 15 gyms? Turns out, spoiler, the Riot offices have numerous Pokestops, and all they do is all day just spam modules on them. And it's apparently he has like a level 20 or some crazy. All of his guys
are like 22 or 23 now, which is
all of his guys are like 1,500 plus, and it's like he's impossible to beat. Thank God he's on Mystic. Like, oh, thank God you're on a team, buddy. Yeah.
That gym bug is like killing me though. I'm hoping that this patch that literally just happened helps with the gym bug.
The 1% HP bug where like
yes,
they get him down and you can't quite kill him all the way.
Yeah. This morning when I took back the office gym from a guy on yellow, I was like, no, bro. No. It was like he was already dead, and it just kept hitting me. I'm like, no.
The only way to get past it is to survive long enough for the server to catch up, which is about 10 extra seconds. It's so bad.
Yeah, so the flip side of everyone enjoying themselves is that this server was perpetually unprepared. Like it
Oh,
just,
Oh yeah.
it was unprepared to begin with, and then continued to be unprepared.
Which surprises me because, like, so for those of you who don't know, Niantic is the same people who made the game Ingress, which is an AR game that has been in existence for years, right? And they had a whole lot of server problems when they first started up, but it was like the first game of that kind of that was just like GPS based and had hubs and like teams and all of this kind of stuff. And the Ingress points directly correlate to the Pokemon Go points. So you would think that since a lot of that information and the way that things were being done on Ingress just kind of transferred over, that it would have been more stable. But I honestly think they didn't expect so many people to fucking jump on it instantly when it came out.
I don't know why they didn't
instantly
expect
number
that.
one grossing.
I don't know why they didn't expect that either.
It's like, right, okay, so you create a game that's basically the nerd fantasy of a bunch of people, you know, who are around our age that grew up with Pokemon, and it's free, and it's available on practically any device, and you're surprised that people bum rushed it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, then. Maybe you have no idea what the world is. You don't seem to understand how people work, but hey, there you go.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, but it's a shit ton of fun. So
It's so fun. Yeah. We've
Yeah,
been going for like 2-hour plus walks like every night. It's been really nice. It's cool.
It fills that child fantasy of mine when I was like in 7th grade and Pokemon first came out, Pokemon Red, and you go to school and you'd hook your Game Boys with the link cable to your friends on the playground, and just you always wanted to walk around your actual world and catch Pokemon. And this fills that niche that you've been itching forever. I've been seeing so many older people playing it, which is fantastic.
People forget, especially when you see news stories and things like that. People forget this game is super old. The Pokemon franchise is like it's spanned at least 2 generations at this point. Like it is a huge game, and so whenever like the kids are out, watch out. It's like, don't watch out for the kids. Watch out for those like 35-year-old guys who just need to get that last Pokemon. This is bad.
I guess Nintendo stock price went up like 25% or something crazy.
Huge amount.
20 something, right?
That is, I mean,
shit's for real.
Kind of wish I would have thought about investing.
I know, right?
20-some% is a lot of money. Like that's a lot. So whatever.
Yeah, super fun though. Go Team Valor.
But at its core, it's like a social game, and it's just 90% of people are saying 33%. That's crazy. If that's anyway,
is that real?
I don't think that's real. That can't. But anyway, it's just like the idea that it's like it has the team-based feature that everyone sort of loves and flocks to. It has the idea that you're catching Pokemon and you're training Pokemon and you're living that fantasy. And it's also a social game where you're like, no matter what team people are on, when you see them on the street, everyone sort of acknowledges what you're doing there.
Oh, totally.
Like, cool. All right, cool.
Yep. That head nod of approval.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate that they don't let you buy the leveling up like powder. I can't remember what it's called.
The candies.
Yeah.
The dust. Yeah, the
not
dust.
the candies, but the dust. That's what it is. They let you buy like lures and incense and stuff to get Pokemon to like show up around you, but they don't let you buy the dust that you need to actually make them stronger. And I'm really glad of that, because that would be just the worst power gaming ever. Just level everything out forever.
And having tested it, even using that powder to like the incense to lure stuff to you, it literally is you have to move in order to get them to actually. So like if you
can't just sit there.
The very first night I was in my house and just sat there and was like, I think got 3. This is bullshit. And then later when I was walking around with the guys on Saturday, I turned on the incense and got like 12. And was like, oh, so you just have to keep moving, and it just makes them come a little bit closer to you. Like, all right, that makes sense. So.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about the game is it gives me a way to bribe myself into walking around and getting a little bit of exercise, which I wouldn't. But people are already taking advantage of people's laziness, and there are companies that are popping up that will walk your phone for you in Pokemon
I know. I saw that.
Oh my god. I'm just going to give my phone to a random stranger and have them walk around and collect Pokemon for me.
I think today the big story was that people are trying to use things like ceiling fans and drones. Yeah, they're trying to like attach their phone to a drone and move it. So like basically all to hatch eggs and like cheat the system.
Mhm.
Right.
Just sure, guys. All right.
I would much rather be able to come home and be like, hey, remember when that cop pulled over to ask us if we were playing Pokemon? Like those are the stories that really add on to the experience of being like, it's 2 a.m. Let's go for a Pokemon walk. And I don't know about y'all, but I have been sleeping so well every night because I've been walking so much. By the time I get home, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to sleep. Jesus Christ. I'm so tired.
The other day, Sam messaged me. He's like, Dodger, pass the F out. Like,
It was,
gone.
yeah, it was straight up like, I'm just going to sit on the couch for a second. And then 2.5 hours later, Sam was like, you need to go to bed. Because I was just like, yeah. So yeah, Pokemon Go is very fun. And Niantic has addressed the whole, because everybody was losing their fucking minds yesterday about Niantic being able to have more accessibility into your Gmail account than seemed necessary. And they've addressed that and been like, oh, I mean, we can't like get into your emails or anything. We'll revoke some access to make
We've tried. We've really tried, and we just can't. We can't.
Yeah, we tried really hard to get in there, send some emails. We can't do it.
Oh yeah. No, this is the articles that have popped up on the internet have been choice. My favorite one was that Pokemon Go is, well, there's two things. The first one was that it's a government conspiracy to track users, so the government knows where everyone is at all time.
Okay.
The next one was that it was an ISIS conspiracy, so that they could gather large people, like a large group of people in a single space, so they could attack. That was another one. There's plenty of just real primo conspiracies about.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, did you hear about the people that were putting lures down into secluded areas and then robbing them?
And then robbing them of their phones. But
Yeah.
they got arrested like immediately because they weren't moving. They were like, we'll
Yeah.
just keep luring this one place and just keep like robbing people. And the police eventually showed up, obviously.
They literally were Team Rocket. These guys they sat around trying to rob people and did it in the dumbest way possible and got caught. Team Rocket. Absolutely.
Cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
And so now everyone's gonna. It's all over the place. Like, when the 6 o'clock news or whatever is like, now for our feature on Pokemon Go. I'm here live at the pier, and all these people are here.
Look at all these Pokemans.
I don't know if you saw the thing that everyone was retweeting yesterday, the New York, when they were in Central Park, and they had the really shitty Pokemon ground.
Oh my God. It was so awful.
I love this is like a cultural phenomenon right now. I don't even care. I enjoy it tremendously. TB is like, I'll never play it. I don't care.
No,
but
not really.
it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I have plenty of friends who have said that they have no interest in it. And I'm like, that's fine. But I've gotten so much enjoyment out of it already that as the game gets more stable, my enjoyment level just goes up. Like the fact that I was willing to push through the fact that it was crashing constantly just because I was enjoying it so much when it was working.
I can't even remember a game that's like been this big amongst so many different people and brings people out of their homes and socializing out in the streets on the public areas that would never have talked to each other beforehand. Yep. It's just like an experience that may never happen again, like in this level. And it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of hope for AR. I want more AR games. I want more of it to exist. I have always loved the premise more than VR. Like, I like the idea of augmenting the world around you. That's awesome. VR, it's like I shut myself off from everyone else. AR's like, yo, let's all go solve a mystery together. Like, that should be awesome.
Ooh.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So that's my hope. More AR. I hope this sparks the imagination of creators out there. And they're like, if people will do this for Pokemon, imagine what they do for other things. Like,
Well, they probably won't do much. The thing is, there's been hundreds and thousands of AR and location-based games released over the past few years, and nobody gave a fuck. The only reason people care is because Pokemon. So I don't know exactly how many other games you could really create that people would actually play.
Well, I think this is the starting point, though, right? The other ones, they were trying to reach an audience that was like almost uninformed of AR. They were just like, I mean, all right, that sounds good. But now that they've experienced it, I imagine more people are open to the opportunity of seeing what else is out there. I think like that's the best I can hope for.
Maybe, or maybe they're just playing it because it's Pokemon and they don't have any interest in AR at
I
all.
Mhm.
I think that's
way.
more likely because it's not a new technology. It's
But I
been
also
around
know a lot
for
of people who
while.
are playing it and have never played Pokemon once. They're caught up in the fervor.
Dude,
So-
my the girl who used to do my makeup at Maker texted me and was like, "Yo, are you playing this Catch'em game?" I was like, "I am playing the
Catch'em
Catch'em game,
I
yes."
am.
And she was like,
Yeah.
"I've been walking all day. I've caught so many of them." I was like, "Very proud of you. That's awesome."
I love the Ketchup.
She loves it.
Catch up.
Yeah,
Ketchup.
play that Catch'em game.
Gotta get that Ketchup.
Yeah. Speaking of bringing games into the real life, I did an escape room that is
Yeah.
based off of the Zero Escape games, off of 999,
What?
and it
What was
was fantastic. It's in Little Tokyo. It's right next to where like Kinokuniya and Orochan are. If you've been there.
Obviously.
It's in like a little plaza that has a lot of stuff in it, but it was really, really cool. They did sort of the same concept inside of the game where you had like a big group of people. They had you stand in a dark room and they put watches on you. And all of the watches had different numbers. And then they split us up into 3 groups. And we were all in totally different rooms. And we had to just trust that everybody was going to figure out their own puzzles. But there were ways that we like, I don't want to spoil how any of the puzzles work just in case somebody is interested in going to do
So
it.
at the beginning, be like,
It's great.
you can murder 3, like one of the other teams.
No, it didn't have that part. That would have been amazing.
That
It
was amazing.
Surprisingly
Sacrifice one
niche
team.
for because escape rooms are often sort of a very generic concept that would appeal to a lot of people. Like, oh, it's a bank heist, or oh, it's a haunted
Right.
house. To base it on an obscure series of anime visual novels is a
and-
little.
Not only that, wait, let me grab I have their little ad. They're like the #1 escape room company in the country. They like all have the same escape room going at the same time in like almost every state. It's called Scrap.
Okay.
But their next one is time travel based, if that sounds interesting. But I
Neat.
think the Zero Escape one is still going right now. But it was cool because there were ways that like we were able to help out other rooms.
Oh,
and,
that's advanced.
Yeah, it was really cool. I thought that it was
cool.
really, really fun. And yeah, I loved it. They had little hints all over the place, like pointing to the game as well. So if you've played the game and you're in these rooms, you'd be like, oh shoot, that's from the game. But none of the game stuff was necessary in order to like figure out the puzzles.
So did you win? That's all I want to know. Did you beat it?
No, because my team was literally me and one other dude. We got out so fast. We were like, oh yeah, we beat our room, came out and just stood there for like 20 minutes waiting for
How
the
do
other
you know
team.
that you didn't have to stay in the room to help the other teams?
We didn't.
How do you know? You got out so fast, you don't know.
I know, but I'm not going to tell you why I know.
All
I
right.
don't want to ruin the escape room, but we knew. So, yeah.
I would. It's one of those things that I would say to everyone in chat who's like, "Oh, I need to do escape room." It's definitely one of those things you should do. It's a lot of fun, but the difference between a good escape room and a bad escape room is
People
like,
you go with, I think.
yeah. Well, that's also true, but there's a lot of like, it's what you make of it. Basically, is the deal. Like an escape. Sometimes escape rooms can be like pretty jank, but if you're there with your friends, then it becomes like a really fun experience. So
Totally.
it's whatever you make of it. But then also sometimes you find ones like Dodger's talking about, or the one in Boston we went to, where it's like, how much money
This-
did they spend on
What
this?
is this? Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
those are next level.
Bodeborg was really cool.
Yeah.
Having like 20 escape rooms going at the same time. It's like,
Yeah, I've only been to one, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'd definitely go again. Dan, have you had a chance to do an escape room at any point?
I've never done it before, but it sounds like a lot of fun. I played
this
the
was
Zero
my first
Escape
one.
Yeah, I played the Zero Escape games, and those I love that kind of mystery and like solving puzzles and stuff. I would love to do it with a group of friends. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, that's what it's about. Mm-hmm.
Some of it's quite physical as well, which is interesting. Like I know the one that we did. We found a sort of fishing pole, and we had to use that to grab a key that was like through some bars and stuff like that. So it's not just puzzle solving. There's a bit of like dexterity and shit involved. I know there's some escape rooms that actually involve like a lot of physical dexterity, actually running and climbing shit and everything. Like
That's
everything's
Photoborg,
different.
Yeah.
Photoborg has ones like that, yeah.
Oh my god.
But they warn you. They're like, hey, this one requires like a lot of physical activity. Be aware. And then we went in and we were like, fuck.
Yeah, it was about balance as well. It was like if you fall off these beams, you have to restart. I'm like, no.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, you can even go without people. Like they'll fill up the room with other people that just come and play with you. Like it depends sort of how social you are, I guess, you know, and how quickly you can adapt to that. But it's best to go with a group of friends, you know, because it is just solving a puzzle together. You know, the horror themed ones in particular are interesting. It's a good little bonding activity. There's a reason why a lot of people do it as a corporate retreat sort of thing, team building exercise. It's fun. I mean, they're exploding quite a lot right now. I'd say like there's a lot more of them being set up. They're becoming a lot more popular. Yeah. It's a really cool concept. It's worth giving a shot if you ever have the chance to do it.
Yeah, the biggest inherent problem with them is once you beat them, you're like, what now?
Because you know what the solution is. Yeah, the place we've got that's in Charlotte, I think, has 7 different ones. So you can go 7 times, but obviously they're going to rotate them out as well. So they'll replace one with a different one. But that means they're just going to keep up with coming up with new configurations and new puzzles and stuff. So once they've done that, that's fine. That's a reason to revisit.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounds like a tough business to keep going for a long period of time.
I thought the exact same thing until I met, like, we went to one that just, like, it was the pre-opening day, right? And so we went there to go test it out. It was a bunch of, like, just randos, and we all went there to go try this thing out. And I talked with the owner. He literally blew my mind to the fact that escape rooms and laser tag are some of the most profitable businesses. And I would have thought the exact opposite. I would be like, who the F? No, that sounds like a horrible. He's like, companies and birthday parties and all, because the equipment and stuff, that's like, you buy it and the upkeep's not even that high. So apparently it's like a huge, you just buy a warehouse in the middle of nowhere and you're like, yeah, no, this is my laser tag place. So this is my escape room. And apparently it's super profitable. I would not have guessed that. I would have been like, I would never spend money on something like this. Clearly, I was wrong.
It's mostly because of the amount of corporate parties that are done there.
Yeah.
They make a ton of money that way. So, yeah, it is pretty profitable. I mean, the setup cost for something like that is actually fairly minimal. I mean, you think about it, what the fuck is an escape room other than a bunch of puzzles made out of cheap props and shit? You know, and once it's set up, that's it. You can run a bunch of people through it. I mean, God, how much was it for us? Escape room Charlotte. Because I think it was like, let's see, because the place in Charlotte is called Exit Strategy, and that's the place that's got like 7 different things.
For like 2 hours, $50 for an hour. Like it's.
They make a decent amount, and bear in mind they're running a bunch at once. It's $25 per person, and it's 10 people per room, and it's an hour session.
Yeah.
And you've got 7 rooms, and if you're filling up a decent amount of them, you're actually making serious bank.
Yeah, I was gonna say that actually sounds like you would be making a lot of money every hour if you manage to keep people in it.
Yeah, you only really need a few staff that know how to reset the room. Basically, outside of that, it basically runs itself. So
how crazy is that?
You want some money? Invest in the escape rooms. Time. Buy. Escape rooms.
Escape rooms.
I just looked. The one that we went to that had the Zero Escape themed one is called Real Escape Room LA, and it's in Little Tokyo. If you are around and would like to see if they're still doing it, it's really fun.
It sounds like a really fun and interesting way to promote like movies like Saw or something, to have like a chain of escape rooms or something.
I think you're totally right there. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. I think it's probably because it's a very local thing that they probably don't do a lot more of that, but that would be awesome. Yeah, I know they were doing a thing at ours that wasn't an escape room per se. It was literally just an interactive horror experience. And by horror experience, I mean you are literally strapped down to chairs. People, like, you have to sign a fucking serious waiver for this thing, because it's like, yeah, you've got to consent to being basically touched everywhere, having slimy shit put in your face, being screamed at, like being blindfolded, restrained, everything like that. Apparently that was seriously popular. I would not.
Oh,
no,
man.
I would not.
They were
But
doing that at South by Southwest. Like that was a thing they were doing the entire time, which is like, come see our horror experience. I was like, no, I would never do that.
No, that seems like a terrible idea. But yeah, promoting a Saw movie, it's like, yes, you just got to cut off your limb to get out of the escape room. No problem there.
It's fine. It'll be easy.
Yeah. Keys in that battle acid right there. Just
Indeed. We implanted the key in your eyeball. Here is a pair of scissors. This is how you get it out.
God damn it.
Those
There is
I
acid.
signed the waiver, I guess, so.
Jesus Christ. Dear Lord.
I just like that they took the time to put it in your eyeball, get your eyeball all right again, wake your ass up, just so you can cut it back out.
Oh, he goes ham. Like, this isn't half-assed. Like, by Saw 12, he'll probably be half-assing the whole thing. It's like, to get out, you have to pick the lock.
There's a key around your neck.
But the thing is slightly too tight, so you have to lean over a bit more than is comfortable. Saw 12, The Mild Inconvenience, coming to a theater near you. Oh,
walk across a slightly dark room to the door.
I put Lego on the floor.
It has a nightlight. It has a little nightlight.
Little solid nightlight.
You can have your phone, but it only has 5% battery and no Wi-Fi.
Oh God, no Wi-Fi.
First world Saw problems. Jesus. I'd watch the fuck out of that. I'm surprised there hasn't been a parody of that already. There probably is. I need to find it. So what else have we been playing this week? Dan, you stream a shitload of games. I'd love to hear what you've been playing this week. What's been going on?
This week I've been going back old school and replaying Morrowind.
Oh, nice.
Saw the speed run during SGDQ of it, and I was like, I haven't played that in years.
Isn't it funny how SGDQ just makes you want to go and play games that they play? Like, oh yeah, they got through that so fast. I feel like I know new things about it.
Yeah. I can do that. It looks easy.
Yeah.
I firmly stand. Most of the games, you're absolutely right. All the games people wanted me to watch, I can't go watch them play because like, yo, everyone's playing Final Fantasy 6 right now. Go watch it. Yeah, they're basically hacking the game. Like they're destroying a beautiful masterpiece. I can't watch this. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's definitely why I like the glitchless runs, because they feel more genuine instead of, cheating your way. Like the Oblivion speed run was just them going to the door and finding a secret little door that's not supposed to be there and going into it, and then they're done with the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing Morrowind. It's been fun to go back and just realize just how many parts of that time period of games are just horrible now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did it hold up?
No voice acting. When you swing a weapon, it rolls a dice to see if you actually hit the enemy versus Skyrim where you hit them every time, that sort of thing. It definitely makes you appreciate the improvements in Skyrim, but also you miss some things that they did well, like writing, because writing had to be very good. That was the whole way you did a game like this back in the day, was you had to use your imagination and you had to read the journal, and you felt part of the world. You have to find things.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag, but yeah, I do enjoy the game. I've never actually beaten it, so I might actually beat it this time.
What? Oh, you owe it to yourself to do it.
Yeah, I already know the ending and stuff because it's been spoiled to me for years, but yeah, like it's fun to read the lore and go through the game again, just to experience that old schoolness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fantastic game. Morrowind's great.
Yeah,
Careful not to kill certain NPCs and fuck yourself over, because that's a thing you can do.
Yep. It's 14 years old. It came out in 2004 and 2002.
Yeah, that it is.
But yeah, there is one. If you kill an NPC that's a part of the main quest, it warns you, like, oh, you can't complete the game. But you don't have to stop playing. You can keep going. You can kill anyone, do anything you want. There's just so much freedom in the game. And then the super broken spells and stuff that you can make in that game. you could cast spells that restore more mana than it costs to cast it, and then kill everything in a 100-foot radius. It's just totally
even Oblivion
broken.
had that issue. I remember like enchanting my weapon in such a way. It's like, well, okay, the way we're going to balance it is we're going to make it cost a certain amount of charge from a soul stone. So if you make the enchantment too powerful, it's going to drain all your soul stones. Except there's one thing that refills your soul stones. So I'd set it up in such a way that I could drain more soul stones back than the cost of every enchanted swing. So this thing was enchanted to the point where I was like, yeah, this has like 5,000 points of death magic on it and everything. This is super powerful. It will literally cause a small county to explode with nuclear fire. But it costs a bunch of soul stones, except it regenerates slightly more than what it costs to swing it. So it's like, well, this is fucked. This is fucked.
Yeah, part of the fun of those old games is just finding ways to just become a god and break it with the broken mechanics.
Yeah.
I remember like the Boots of Blinding Speed in Morrowind, where you get super speed, but if you have magic resist when you put it on, even for a second, you don't get blinded, so you can just zip across the map. That's what speedrunners use all the time. It's fun to just find these things and find exploits in them.
And those games are certainly fucking full of them. Like Bethesda in particular, it's like we create a giant world. It's the larger the world is, the more bugs it's got in it. There's going to be something horribly broken about this.
Yeah, they're one company that always gets a pass on broken games.
They do.
Yes, they do.
They are very large, and that's the excuse everyone uses. But my God, I've never seen a game that have so many bugs that need to be fixed by the community than the Outer Scrolls games.
Yeah.
Each one of them requires the unofficial patch, which fixes thousands of bugs that were left in the game.
Yeah, that is very true. It's some of those older RPGs can also be difficult to go back to, as you said. Like the combat system in particular bothers me, and that I started with Oblivion, and then I tried to go back to Morrowind, and I'm like, I can't. Like, this is...
I can't do this.
Yeah, because I'm used to actually swinging a sword and it hitting something, not it rolling a dice in the background and saying, well, you missed. Like, no, I didn't. I hit him in the fucking head. But that's how the game was.
Everyone's experience is going up to a rat and swinging at it and missing like 10 times in a row, trying to hit it with your weapon.
Yes. That takes a lot of getting used to. That takes a lot of suspending your disbelief, I think.
Yeah. They wanted you to feel like you're progressing, so when you level up, you eventually stop missing when you get your skills high enough. But that beginning part of constantly failing and missing is just so annoying nowadays when you're used to Skyrim and Oblivion, where things don't fail and things don't miss when you swing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a huge Outer Scrolls fan, so it's fun to go back and just experience the world again.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they eventually remaster those.
Yeah, everyone's been wanting them to go back and redo Morrowind in like Skyrim's engine, like bring it up to date with graphics and the combat mechanics of Skyrim, but have the like
modders trying to do that as well.
There is Skywind is a thing. I know that there's definitely an unofficial mod that's trying to do that. I don't know how complete it is though.
Yeah, Skywind has been coming. It will be coming out soon, as they've been saying for about 4 years now.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I have a suspicion that it won't be ready until after the next Elder Scrolls is out, and then they'll never finish it, and then they'll move on to the next one, which is how these mods work.
Yeah. It's okay, though. They're doing a remaster of Skyrim, the one game that didn't need it. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
The one game that had fully working mods that made it look exactly like the remaster is going to look.
Yeah.
There is
at
that.
This remastered version that doesn't look better than the modded version.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't get.
Well, that's for the benefit of the consoles. It's not for the benefit of anyone on PC at this point. It's also easy. Like, remastering something like Morrowind takes some actual work, especially considering the size of that game. Remaster Skyrim, it's like, yeah, just fix a few things, update a couple of things, done. Sell it. Problem solved.
Yeah, get a few guys on it, but like they have to give a budget to like a remaster. Remastering of Morrowind would take a huge budget because they have to voice the whole thing, which would be a massive project in itself.
Yeah, they'd have to do a lot of work with that.
But we'll keep dreaming.
What else have you been playing this week?
Right before that, I was playing Terraria.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd never like played it.
That's a good game.
Yeah, like everyone was like crazy about it when that patch came out last year, the 1.3. They added a bunch of stuff, and I never really played it. And I decided I couldn't figure out what to play one day, so I decided to just try out Terraria, see how it is. And then 50 hours later, I was hooked and still on hard mode trying to kill the every boss. it's one of those games where like there isn't like a story. It's like a sandbox where you have to move yourself through the game on your own pace and set challenges for yourself. And not everyone appeals to that kind of person, sort of like Minecraft, where you have to set your own goals and decide what you want to do. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I haven't had that much fun with a $10 game in a while since like Stardew Valley. Like just dozens of hours with something so cheap.
There's some serious value in that game, especially considering how much they updated it. Even the original version was worth the money. It's got literally 4 times as much content as it used to in it now. It's insane.
Exactly. Yeah, that 1.3 added a whole new mode and new bosses. It was just incredible how much content was added for free as just an update to the game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see more of that because we were waiting for them to move on to like other stuff. You know, I know one of the devs went to do Starbound, and then they're like, we're going to do Terraria Otherworld, but then that was like another company. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's just go back and update the existing one, like because we're still selling a bunch of copies of it. I mean, that game has sold an obscene number of copies.
Yeah, it's one of those games that has a thriving community behind it. Like if you stream it or make a video on it, like all these Terraria people just swarm to it. They're just very passionate about the game. Like I was streaming it on Twitch, and people just cannot help themselves but to tell you how to play the game and how to do the next thing.
They fuck out of that game.
Oh my god, it's up there with Dark Souls with the amount of just backseat gaming when you play it. It's crazy.
It's infuriating. It's really bad.
Yeah.
That game has sold, according to Steam Spy, 7.5 million copies.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. Jesus. And that's not counting the console versions, of which there are, and the iOS version, of which there is. So it's like, Jesus.
Wow, that is some serious money.
Indeed. I'm just thinking about playing Terraria again now. I'm like, no.
It's such a deep hole, TV.
It really is. It's a elevator. What can we say?
Once you start, it's hard to stop.
Jesse.
I just want to play some sad music in the background because Jesse's seeing the potential YouTube profits just disappear in front of his eyes.
Here's the thing. Every time we talk about Terraria on this show, we always say like, oh, we might do that again, and we never do. We never do.
No.
Don't get their hopes up.
No.
Don't get them happen. I'll get emails for the next 5 weeks like, yo, TB said it might come back though. Is it come back? I'm like,
yo, y'all doing Terraria?
This is me getting you back for every time we used to do an episode of that, you saying go pester TB on Twitter about this. This is my revenge. You did it for years. You've got a lot of payback that needs to happen here.
But just one more episode, TV. One more episode, TV. We could do it.
Your tears are dollar shaped.
One final hour-long wrap-up episode. Where you see,
how do you wrap that show up? Literally,
don't.
We did nothing to begin with. There was.
It was 100 episodes of nothing happening. That's what that show was.
You give people closure. You give people closure. You both died.
Of Let's Play.
Black.
Happened.
God.
Please, sir. Just one more episode.
Some more.
Can we do it?
More?
Please,
Just
sir.
one more.
Oh, no. No more of that. Thank you very much. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the games that we've been playing this week. I know Furi is going to come up on the agenda, considering...
Yes.
So you've been playing a ton of that. Necropolis probably coming up, and a bunch of other things as well. In the meantime, however, we would love you to hear messages from our sponsor. I mean, it's not like you have a choice in the matter. You're going to get them anyway. Crunchyroll.com/TotalBiscuit is the sponsor for today's co-optional podcast. Thank you very much for supporting the show. And we'll be back after the break with yet more video games that we've been playing this week. You're watching the co-optional podcast. Do not go anywhere.
Unlimited anime and power.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast. Hopefully you had a wonderful break.
I peed and then I fixed a toilet.
Sure, that sounds about right. That sounds like our office.
Yeah. The toilet was busted, so I spent my break fixing it.
Exciting stuff. All right, back on to games we've been playing this week. Now, Dodger, I know you've been playing one that I got the chance to play a bit earlier, which was Furi. Furi, yes. That's been making the rounds on Twitch as of late. Dan has a kind of almost broken facial expression during that. Have you had a chance to play Furi?
No, I haven't. I've heard everyone's like, it's one of those games that everyone's like, are you going to play Furi? You going to play Furi? When are you playing Furi?
That's why.
One of those games, so I got to do it this week at some point.
Jesse played it for a fan Friday, I believe, and hates it.
I hated it. Not that I hate I think it's probably a fine game. It's not a for me game. I walked away like, wow, I never want to play that again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt the same way about it, but that didn't mean it was a bad game. It was clearly very well designed. It was very fair, but do I want to play very hard boss rush games? No, I don't. That's not my thing. But I know it's Dodger's thing, because she's someone that's willingly played Volgar the Viking without being coerced at gunpoint. It's and no sane person would ever do that, so...
One thing that I think was obvious for my Fan Friday was that even though... Because I got to the second boss, and for some reason, there's a mechanic, with 2 lives left, whatever it is in the second, she's, down to 2 little bubs left. Whatever the mechanic is, she, pops in the air and, smashes into you. I could not, for the life of me, figure out... I was I'm trying to parry. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Every time it just happened. But the only thing that I was all right, well, if I can get back to her without dying, now that I know all the mechanics for the rest of it, clearly it's a mechanically sound game. And I did. I destroyed the other phases she had, got right back to where I was, still couldn't figure out how to do it, was oh, fuck me. All right, well, that's all the time I have for this game forever. Yeah. But I can understand this is one of the games, I'm willing to push through this one moment and figure out what it is, then it's probably your type of game. But I was no, I'm out. I can't do this.
Yeah,
the second
that was the impression I got
TV
from Dodger's stream. Yeah.
Yeah, the second that TV played it, he messaged me on Skype and was like, I found a game you're going to love. And I did. I loved it. I actually just beat the final optional boss yesterday. And I thought that the game overall was fantastic. The only gripe that I would have with it is that I think the final 2 bosses of the main story were way easier than a couple of the bosses that came before. It didn't feel like they progressively got more difficult, if that makes sense. And in one of those situations, I understood why. I was okay, I understand why this is story-wise, why this is an easier fight. But overall, I was expecting it to get way harder each time. And it didn't necessarily. But according to people who were in my chat, some people had a lot of trouble with bosses that I didn't have a lot of trouble with. So I think it just has to do with which mechanics trip you up more.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was I could do everything else, but I couldn't parry to save my life. And it was just because I would always either do it too early or too late. And I was it's so, for me.
You'd fucking hate the guy with the ore then. Jesus Christ.
I was going to say the guy who
that's
literally
parrying the boss. Yeah, that's all it is.
I could not do it. I was always either a little bit late or a little bit early, and it was destroying me inside because I was there is zero forgiveness in this game when it comes to parries. I was I can't. All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely the sort of game where it gets you really used to one thing and then it switches it and you're fuck. But I loved the art style. So many people recognized that it was the same guy who does Afro Samurai. I think that it's really obvious that it's the same art style, and I appreciated the shit out of that. I thought that the designs of all of the bosses were so cool. Yeah, and I liked that the story of it was very vague. When I was on boss 6 or something, somebody came in and was should I watch this or because I don't want to ruin the story for myself? And I was don't worry. There's been they drop nuggets of kind of cloudy information at you for the whole game, but it's not clear until literally the very end what's actually going on. So I kind of liked that adds a little bit of replayability that you could go back and play it again and hear all of the dialogue again and be like, oh fuck, I know why Donnie Darko Bunny Buddy is saying that.
That's one thing I like about the Dark Souls series is where they don't feed you the story. You have to give you little bits and you have to piece it together yourself.
God, I find the Souls lore to be so intriguing. Like, do I want to play all the games? Not really. Like, I kind of had my fill after Demon Souls and DS1, and then I didn't really play the others because I'm like, you know what? I think I've experienced what I want to experience in this. There's definitely parts of it I like, and there's parts where I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. But the lore, every fucking time a new Dark Souls game comes out, like, all right, I'm subscribing to all the lore channels, I'm reading all the wiki pages, I'm going to read everyone's fucking stupid-ass theory that they found based on one item description that they expounded into 30 minutes of narrative.
Yeah.
I found it fascinating. I love that about it.
That's the only, like, amazing part for me. Besides the artistic style and, like,
Oh,
those types of
God, the aesthetic is
Like,
fucking gorgeous.
The story's phenomenal. I physically can't be bothered to do it myself. I'm like, I'll go watch some other dude do it. I don't have the patience. Yeah. Some guy I think really nailed me as a gamer. I think I'm a power fantasy gamer. Like, I love the ability to level a character up to the point where it's like, I've out-leveled you, game, and just murder people.
Yeah.
That's my type of game. And a game that's like, you will always be shitty. Nope, not playing you anymore. Like, I know when that happens, I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah. It's just... Yeah.
Dark Souls is a game that constantly humbles you. Yeah, it's...
But yeah, I was thinking about that the other day too, that I think games that are very unforgiving, it all depends on what you look for as a reward as a gamer, right? And if the reward of you beat a thing that was difficult isn't enough, it's not going to be a satisfying experience to play it.
Yes.
I think it... Oh my God, this could be a Team Mystic, Team Valor scenario here, guys. Think about it, because we both have the same objective. We're both trying to beat this incredibly hard thing.
Yeah.
Your tactic is go at it and beat it until you finally win. Mine is like, what if I just do a bunch of other things that makes this fight really easy when I get to it? That's exactly what that is. It's just the same different approaches to the exact same goal. Yeah. And sometimes games are based around the idea of, like, you can't do option B. Or sometimes, like most JRPGs, you can't do option A, which you can't just throw yourself at it. So that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
Definitely a couple of different schools of thought.
That's one thing I love about the Dark Souls series is most modern day games are very easy nowadays, even on their hardest difficulty settings. A lot of them are very easy, and when you don't really feel accomplished when you solve a super simple puzzle and you get a little achievement just for solving that simple puzzle, then you get another achievement right after that. Like, it's all about rewarding you, make you feel like you're powerful and you're great. But with Dark Souls, when you finally beat that boss you've been struggling on for 5 hours, you feel this just sense of relief and accomplishment that it's so hard to feel in a lot of other games nowadays.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Side note, the Furi music is also fantastic.
That's the best part of the game for me.
And you can find the soundtrack pretty much everywhere. It's on SoundCloud. It's on Spotify. You can find it.
Yeah, you can buy it on Steam. You can also buy it on SoundCloud if you want to support the art. And it's not SoundCloud, sorry, Bandcamp. Bandcamp has it. I bought it last night. I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is the kind of music I like to listen to. I've been listening to it pretty much consistently, and we've been playing throughout the show as well. So the soundtrack to that game is amazing. It's also nice to be able to focus on the music and not be focusing on, oh God, I am dodging for my life. Holy shit, I am totally focused and I can't even listen to the music because I'm focused on not getting murdered. So that's always nice. Anyone else got a hat to throw into the ring and games have been playing this week?
Man, I played a game called Asemblance this week.
Oh, I would love to hear about this bonkers shit.
We talked about that last week, right? When you had just started playing it?
Yeah, so Asemblance goes from, like, creepy to weird to freaking nuts to borderline impossible by the time you get to the ending. So Asemblance is a game that, for those who have no clue, is a game where you are essentially a person trapped, I'm trying not to spoil anything, trapped in a repeating cycle of events, right? So it starts where you're in a like a facility and there's an AI talking to you and the AI is just messing with you, but he's like, I'm doing it because this is the way you program me and this is what I'm here for, and you're the one who wanted to do this. This is all on you. And you basically cycle through the same events over and over again, but discover new things each time. Like if you go to it at a different time or whatever. And as time goes on, you start to unlock a story that's very weird and bizarre. And what happens is there are numerous endings to this game. So you find the first ending, and then the second ending, and then like the RGB ending. So there's the red ending, then you go to like green, and then there's like a white ending. So needless to say,
What?
You're going through all. So like, here's an example. One of the endings, and this is no spoilers of what the ending is, but one of the endings is you end up in a field and there's a butterfly. If you look at the butterfly turns the screen blue and resets you back to the main complex. And now the door is like this weird shade of blue. When you go in, it unlocks a new program that you can enter, which is a corrupted code. And the corrupted code's like a weird doorway. And it's like, hey, you probably shouldn't go in there. And you're like, well, I have to go in. And it's like,
no, I gotta.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you. And so when you go in, it gives you one of the endings, but then resets you back. And it's like, that wasn't the real ending though, duh. And you're like, oh my God. So you're essentially just continuously going through and going through. The final white ending. I don't care because I'm going to effing spoil the final white ending.
Oh, wait. Let's
wait.
put the
Let me put the spoiler thing up. Jesus.
I'm not going to spoil what it is. I'm going to spoil how to get it.
You know what? I don't trust you. I'm putting it up anyway. I know your game.
That's fine.
You do this shit all the time. Spoiler alerts up.
The final white ending, I just want to point out. So I've been going through this, and it's it's a puzzle game. So there's frustrating moments. There are times where it's like, oh my God, what do I even do? But eventually you figure it out, right? It's all in the game. You get the white ending. You eventually get to your office, and you see that there's a computer, and on the computer, there's an email from a guy. Apparently, you email that email, which then there's a website devoted to there's the ARG aspect to this game. You get all these emails sent back to you, and it's like, hey, if you really want to be part of this initiative, go watch this video. The video is a video on YouTube that's like Russian scientists bringing a dog's head back to life. And it's like, wait, what? And so it's crazy shit. And needless to say, I'm still working on this thing, trying to figure out what it's all saying to me. And we figure out that it's some type of coded number system. And so we're like, all right, so the coded numbers are in relation to, the graphs that were on the table back in the office. So I go back to the office. I'm literally on stream doing fucking math on the table. Trying to find, doing waveforms and shit. So then we discover oh my God, the numbers, those are the numbers that correlate with times in the apartment. So we go back to the apartment, and literally to get the final solution, you must, to the millisecond, wait for time to tick over to 9:19:01, open a drawer, run down the hallway, wait till it's 9:20 or something like that, stare at a bullet hole in a wall, a picture pops up, and then you're like I lost my mind. I went crazy because I could not do it. I literally, there might be footage of me yelling at the devs, calling them scumbags and shitlords, because I was so mad. I won't spoil the ending, but I was so mad. This is how you got there. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Who designed this shit? This is oh, you fuckers. It is 45 minutes of me losing my mind because it would not work. I could not get the timing down. And when it finally worked out, it actually, one, jump scared me when it finally worked. But two, I couldn't believe that was the mechanic for the final solution of the game. I was like, shut up. Shut up. This is in your game. I went crazy. There is,
I mean,
if you go watch the videos, video 1 is me playing a game. Video 2 is me playing a game, kind of talking to chat, because we're like, oh shit, there's an email game to this too. That's cool. Video 3 is 90% of it me, just screaming and angry and going over the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again till I lose my mind. So that's pretty much how I played that game, and it sucked. I was so mad. I was so mad, TV. You would have been like, this isn't even a game. Oh, it was.
Well, this is why I don't play stuff like that.
Oh.
But Jesse, you're you fucking love ARG shit. How can you even be angry?
I loved everything up till that point. The ending was just not worth the trouble of
I
that
see.
moment. So you get to the ending and you're just like, wait, that's what this was? And it very much goes back to, what was the name of that game that we played on stream a while ago? Anyone who would watch it? Shit. Calendula? Calendula, I think. Calendula is a game where it's very similar, where it's a puzzle game. And you're spending the entire time trying to solve this puzzle. And it's this crazy, crazy puzzle. And it gets harder and harder and harder and harder to the point where you're just like, what the fuck? In the ending, you're like, are you kidding me? That's what this was? Are you
Oh, it's like Lost.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get so involved in ARGs and mysteries. I love a good, like, mystery. And solving it, and it's so good to me. And to get an ending that is shit, I'll be like, yo, no, you can't do this. You can't do this to me. It's just like, oh, it's Lindelof all over again. God damn you. God damn you, Lost. Yeah, I can't. I guess I should learn to be a fan of the journey and not the destination when it comes to these games.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Asemblance is one of those things where even afterwards, I will say, I was getting screenshots of people sending me, like, when you went into the room during this time, I saw something weird, and I like did a screenshot and froze the frame, and there's literally like a weird face like off to the side looking at you. I was like, oh, I didn't notice
creepy.
that shit. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I like stuff like that.
The game kind of sounded like you were describing Stanley Parable a little bit.
It's
the way
very
it was
much like that.
repeating, but then at the end, it's like it becomes so much work that it's not fun anymore. I've had puzzle games like that in the past. I can't remember the names, but where like it starts out easy and fun, and then the puzzles get so hard towards the end. It's like, why am I doing this? This is work. I need a degree for this. What the hell?
Yeah, I'd rather, if it's gonna be like a difficult puzzle game, I'd rather right out the gate it like drop The Witness on you and be like, look, some of these are gonna be a pain in the ass. You know it going into it. Deal with it. Like this one, I was expecting an in-game mystery and unraveling stuff and sort of like a walking simulator, but with like things I had to figure out. And eventually got like, F you, here's math, do it. And then go to a website, put the math into a code, and then get the code to figure out exact time. Look at these charts in the fucking game. I was like, I can't do this. And then it's like, also, you have to, in order to beat this, you have to go to the exact millisecond. So I had a stopwatch. I was literally stopwatching on my phone to get it down. I've never in my life done that for a video game, ever.
That's crazy.
I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. So my next two big crazy games definitely coming down the pipeline are going to be the Temporal Invasion, which is that one that's all ARG, and Inside. The Inside's probably going to be my next, like, I hear good things. I don't know if any of you have played that, but like that's what I want.
I haven't got around to it yet. It's like a 3-hour game. I'm told the ending is shit bonkers and you don't want to get spoiled on it. So
right? Yeah, I
need to check it
I
out.
haven't looked up anything. But
I've played the whole thing, and you can definitely tell it's the same developers, Limbo. There's a lot of similar mechanics at the beginning and stuff, but towards the end, it's definitely very different from Limbo, and they do much better job at telling a story than Limbo did. And you can tell they're learning as a developer. I won't spoil anything because it's something you just got to play yourself.
I totally agree. I got to a point where I stopped, and everybody said that there was only like 30 minutes left of the game, though, and I was like, oh, so it's like shorter than Limbo. But I feel like it has more to it. Like you wind up walking away going, whoa, there's some messed up stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And it also, there are elements of that game that have stressed me out in ways that I haven't been stressed out in a while. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's great though. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you haven't played it, you should before you get it spoiled for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to check that one out. Probably sit down tomorrow and just do the whole thing start to finish. Doesn't seem like it would take all that long.
3 hours.
3 hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah.
3 to 4 hours, depending on how good you are at some of the puzzles in the game. And that's it.
Mhm.
So I played Necropolis over the last few days.
I feel like I've heard a lot of the same things I've heard about Furi. Either people love it or people are like, ugh, no.
I'm hearing a lot of people saying that it was pitched as a much harder game than it's winding up being. That it's winding up being like very basic and repetitive.
I mean, it is basic and repetitive. That doesn't make it easy, though. I'm not all that great at roguelike games, things like that, but The main problem that Necropolis has, in my eyes, is that they designed the single player so that when you die, that's it. You restart the whole bloody thing again. However, in co-op, you don't. Because as long as one of your party members is alive, they can res you an infinite number of times for no cost whatsoever.
Interesting.
Which is a massive difference, like, in terms of how playable it makes the game. It's very easy to get boxed into a corner or, like, hit multiple times because, like, you barely stagger in that game, so it's easily, like, possible to get hit multiple times by mobs in a very short space of time. And you can die pretty fast. That doesn't matter if you're in with a few different people, because then someone, as long as they're outside the combat, it's like, all right, well, we can just come and res you then. Takes a few seconds, doesn't cost any resources, easy. So it feels to me like the single player is poorly conceived. Like, the single player is far harder than it has any right to be, whereas the co-op is probably the way it was meant to be played, because it has a lot of margin for error. Because you are able to just res people. It's like, oh shit, walked into a room, got killed on a trap, or walked into a room, got mobbed and killed. Doesn't really matter, because the other two guys I was with, while they were back there, they work through the mobs, and then they res me. That's okay. I mean, and you res with your gear, you res with half HP and most of your stamina. And it just confuses the hell out of me that the co-op mode is like that, whereas the single player mode is one and you're dead. And obviously, since I've been playing, for the most part, prior to release, there's really been nobody to play with outside of a couple of people that had pre-release codes. And playing it single player, for me, was an exercise in frustration, for the most part. The combat feels very much like Souls on a budget. Like, it doesn't have the accurate hitboxes that Souls has. It doesn't have the great quality animations, or the weapon variety, or the combat variety, or anything like that. But it will definitely be reminiscent. You know, it's very slow on purpose. You know, the swings feel very deliberate. Once you commit to the swing, you commit to it. And you don't spam attacks, because you can easily run out of stamina and you can overswing or whatever and then get hit. The problem with it is that, like, I just didn't find the game to be all that engaging. Like, you play the first couple of levels a lot, because, of course, when you die, you go back to the beginning. And it's procedurally generated, but you see the same sort of enemies, you see the same sort of equipment, you see the same sort of terrain. There barely seem to be any actual events, honestly, that happen. You know, there are some secrets, but for the most part, they're like, oh, if you stand in front of this writing for a few seconds, it's going to open a door, and maybe there'll be, like, an item in there or something.
Right.
And it's a lot of, unless you really enjoy the combat, to me, I wouldn't get it right now. Like, unless you have a bunch of friends that are willing to commit to playing with you. The single player, to me, is just like, I mean, I'd rather be playing Dark Souls. You know, it's a handcrafted, better in every aspect experience than this is, you know. And this one tries to differentiate itself, but the fingerprints of Dark Souls are clearly there. You know, the slower paced combat, they're like, this game's really hard, guys. Yeah, but none of the nuance is there. None of the careful design is there. And I just didn't really enjoy my time with it outside of playing with Cry and Sinvicta. You know, and the co-op was, well, that was a lot more fun. But I'm kind of through with games that waste your time and just erase your progress. It's like, oh, great, went around a corner, got caught out and died. That's 30 minutes of my life gone, you know?
Right.
Especially when the overall progress that you get between games is very limited. You earn what's called tokens of favor, and you can spend these tokens of favor on codices, which are like equipable things that you can put on your next character. The thing is, you can only equip one of them at any given time. So you unlock what's basically a passive bonus, and it's like, right, okay then. That was 6 hours of work to get that.
Yeah.
For a little passive, it's just not that interesting to me. You know, and something like Enter the Gungeon, you're unlocking all these crazy new guns, and something like Isaac, you're unlocking new characters and classes. This game doesn't have any of that. So I saw no reason to keep playing it, honestly. I wasn't really enjoying the individual sessions, and I wasn't enjoying the rewards of the individual sessions that much, outside of playing with a co-op partner. So, yeah, I think that it needs a bit more time in the oven. Like, for $30 right now, it seems very content light to me, and the balance between the single player and the multiplayer seems to be completely off whack. So, and with only one class, it's like, there's not a lot of variety here. from what I can tell. You know, you're pretty much playing sword and board almost all the time, which is a bit repetitive. So I was a bit disappointed by that. I was hoping that it would be a lot better than it was, but it just seems like it needed like a few more months of development. And it's come out too early.
That's too bad.
Yeah, so that wasn't too great. I did play a bit of Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
That game is Persona.
There you go.
Definitely. Dan seems to know what I'm talking about there. You played a bit of it?
Yeah, I played a bit of it as well. Yeah, it's definitely Persona without any English voice acting.
Yes.
Pretty much.
No English VO whatsoever. It's all in Japanese. The setting really put me off, which is why I wasn't so willing to play it initially, because like, oh, this is about Japanese idol culture. It's like, great, that doesn't sound at all fun. But I thought, you know what? I heard more and more about, seriously, play it. It's Persona. I'm like, okay, I really liked Persona 4. I guess I'll see if I can tolerate this. It's like, actually, yeah, I can. You know, that, okay, there's stuff about idols and stuff in it. It's not the majority of the game. The most of the game is dungeon crawling and storytelling, and the combat style is very similar to Persona. There's some really cool combos. You know, it's basically Persona with Fire Emblem characters in it, for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Even the UI is very Persona-esque. The storyline is about some sort of otherworldly invading force and the value of friendship coming together with different people to beat it and all this shit, which is pretty much what Persona was. I don't know if there's much, like, I don't think there's any, like, social link stuff in it like Persona had. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been talking to the different characters, and you actually have a phone, and you can use that phone on your gamepad. So when a message comes in, you look at the gamepad, and you get, like, a text message. It's like an instant messenger.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's pretty neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the most clever ways to use that gamepad I've seen in a long time.
It was
unfortunately,
smart.
it's not very good for streaming. It's hard to get that on to capture that, unfortunately.
Yes, no doubt about that. But I thought it was a very interesting way of doing it. And so far, the characters haven't been too obnoxious. I mean, I've had no problem with them so far. I'm waiting to find out what the silly mascot character is, assuming the game has one. I assume it does. I know all Persona games kind of do. But the battle system is really solid. The dungeon crawling is very Persona, very JRPG. It's surprisingly impressive looking, I gotta say. Like, the art style is really great. I mean, Persona's always had this really killer UI, very stylish. This game's got that too. And I dug that a lot. Soundtrack is, well, if you don't like J-pop, you might maybe want to turn it down a bit. And I'm not the biggest fan of J-pop. But the overall game seems pretty solid, actually, in terms of Persona-like JRPG. I'm actually quite surprised by it so far. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I played it for a couple hours like a week ago, and it brought a lot of memories back of Persona 4. It had a lot of the combat styles, the dungeon layouts are very similar. But yeah, the no English voice acting. I'm a dub person. I like to have dubs, and they cut the budget and they didn't do the English voice acting for this game because they thought it was coming out in Wii U. There wasn't going to be enough sales to justify it. But yeah, I love the combat. It's very good. I like the new combo system where if you do the right attacks, all your team members will attack at the same time.
That looks great when it happens as well.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
it's
everyone
very
just fucking
satisfying.
beats the shit out of them. It's like that, which is again quite Persona-esque. You could have those team-based attacks too.
Yeah.
It is, Persona 5 is now early 2017.
Yeah.
Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's Valentine's Day, if I remember correctly.
Ew.
That means like someone's gonna get horribly murdered. I guarantee that. I mean, they can take all the time they need with that game. Persona 4 Golden was, I mean, I think it may, outside of Dragon Quest VIII, be the only JRPG I've ever played from start to finish. And I mean, that game took me like 100 or so hours to get the true ending in as well.
Yeah.
The game's got to be pretty fucking good to get me engaged that much, especially in a JRPG. So take all the time they need with Persona 5. Don't fuck it up. It looks like, stylistically, it looks godlike right now. Hopefully it continues to be great.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, man. I'm
So far,
excited for
Tokyo
that.
Mirage is pretty good. It's something on Wii U. It's got almost universally good reviews from most people. It's just seems like a really solid JRPG, from what I can tell. That's cool. Anyone else got anything else they've been playing this week?
I'm trying to think.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I played a bit more Dirty Bomb. I decided to go back to that. I played a bunch of that last year.
Oh yeah. Did you say that they improved it, or?
In places, yeah. It's coming along quite slowly. I mean, they claim it's still in beta, but honestly, like anything that's got a microtransaction store is not in beta anymore in my eyes. But they've made it a bit easier to get the loadout cards. So the way that game worked is you've got characters which can be unlocked, and it's a free-to-play game, so it's not like Overwatch where all the characters are unlocked from the start. Admittedly, a lot of the characters' roles do overlap somewhat. Like, it's very much not extreme. Like, there are characters that have the same guns and stuff like that. And pretty much everyone is combat capable to some degree. But in that game, when you unlock a character, you can also get loadout cards which change the weapons that they've got and also give them a couple of little passive perks that help your character out a little bit. And those loadout cards can be acquired through equipment cases which you get free during a match, but they're random. So you have to either get them randomly or you have to buy them. You can buy a specific one for either in-game credits or real money. So if it's like, all right, I want this guy with these weapons, with these perks, you can do that. Or you had to do this really annoying, wonky crafting thing, which was like, you gotta break down all these cards and build them up into new random cards. It made that a lot easier now. So it's not as fucking fiddly. So that helps a bit. They're giving a lot more rewards for the next few weeks as well, which is nice. You're getting, like, cases every day for unlocks and shit. They've added a new map, which I'm not the biggest fan of, mostly because I have no idea where the fuck I'm supposed to be going in it. I think it's because I played those same 5 maps, like, for 70 hours, so I kind of know them pretty well. And I was like, here's a new map. I'm like, no, I don't know where anything is now. Turn around the corner and someone shot me because I didn't know that that was a place that they could be. I'm like, god damn it. But it's coming along. It's still got a solid player base. It took a hit when Overwatch came out, but it's stabilized around, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 concurrents. So it's actually still a pretty healthy game. And they've also got a lot of a handle on the hacking problem they used to have with that. They put a new anti-cheat in. I used to run into hackers on a regular basis, aimbotting. Now, not so much. I don't actually think I've run into one since I came back. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad time to dip back into it. It's still a fun game, I think. It's the game that I play after I've been playing too much Overwatch and I'm just sick of people not pushing the objective or not doing the right thing or having the wrong composition. Because in a game like that, it's like, yeah, you can totally kill 5 or 6 people, like, from a distance, because everyone has pretty effective guns. I was like, oh, I'm playing Mercy. I'm not killing their entire team then. You know, there aren't many characters in that game that are hard counters. In fact, I don't think there are really any that are hard counters to other characters. Yeah. They're all very much soft counters. So it feels a bit more focused on your individual skill, whereas Overwatch is more, this is a team effort kind of thing. So I play that game to cool down from a bad session of Overwatch. Works pretty well. And of course, I'm sure we've still been playing Overwatch.
Yeah. New character!
Oh, yeah.
Anna?
You mean Nana Mamari? Because she's the new mom? I'm making it happen.
Sweet grandma. Look, I'm just saying, I'm going to have a Jesse moment right now. Jesse always likes to throw back to statements that he made a long time ago and be like, I was right, or this actually happened. For me, it was, I kept saying, God, I just really want there to be an old lady hero. I just want an old woman hero, and we fucking got her, man. I'm so jazzed.
Yeah. I mean, I have already announced this. I'll announce it again. Cash prize. I'm not saying how much. Probably not a lot. Cash prize to any parents who go to BlizzCon as Anna and 76 with a Junkrat and Diva kids on leashes. Cash prize. I want to see that so badly. Oh my God, make that meme a reality for me.
I want to see Anna and Farah walking around, mom and daughter. I think that would be awesome.
Oh.
I'm more excited about Zenyatta getting a buff and not being shit anymore. That'll be nice.
That's nice. Yeah, it's nice that they finally made him not awful.
It's weird because I feel like depending on who you are, people have either been saying, ugh, he doesn't need a buff. If he has any kind of a buff, he'll suddenly be OP. Or people who actually play him like me being like, but everybody kills me so easy.
I don't think anyone that follows the competitive scene can realistically say that he didn't.
He's never picked. He's not on any competitive team.
No, because He has
that's
no
a
reliable
sign.
escape. He has 150 HP, and his ultimate is counterintuitive to how you're actually supposed to play him, which is at a distance.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have said he's strictly worse than Mercy. You know, even though it's like, oh, well, he has high DPS. Well, that doesn't fucking matter if you made a paper and you have to get in that close. And not to mention the healing orbs are a pain in the ass. Like, oh, went out of line of sight. Fuck. Well, healing orbs off now. You know,
all his orbs are awful. If I get hit by an orb, I'm like, I'm just gonna go around this corner for 3 seconds. Oops, I'm not debuffed anymore.
That's the problem. Yeah, the debuff is like pointless unless you're trapped somewhere, right?
Yeah, and if you're trapped somewhere, well, I mean, the chances are that guy's just going to turn around and fucking murder you anyway. It's just,
Yeah.
he is the only healer that I like playing, you know, and I don't really count Symmetra as a healer because she doesn't actually heal anything. And I'm happy that they're bringing a new support class in because, I mean, I find Lucio to be dull to play. I mean, mostly because it's like, oh, well, the heal's passive, so I just kind of, I guess I skate around the walls in circles then and try not to die.
Really it, yeah.
And Mercy's just like, well, I hold down left mouse button for a while. That to me isn't engaging gameplay. And Symmetra...
I think Mercy, the only way that Mercy is useful right now is as Battle Mercy. Like, you have to be playing Battle Mercy and swapping.
I mean, right now...
Well, I mean,
as far as
Mercy's like
tell,
top tier, great player. A great character. She's almost essential in competitive play, right?
Yeah. I've seen
Is
a
that
lot
good?
of Lucio Mercy comps where they have both of them and they just are unkillable as a team. That's,
Yeah.
you know, then you have to like, all right, how do we counter this bullshit?
Yeah, I mean, the res is just so good.
Mhm.
You know, and it seems to me that, like, you can definitely switch between the healing and the damage, but it seems like healing is more overvalued in Overwatch than a damage boost is. You know, because, like, I think mostly because, like, oh, this guy's getting healed when I can empty my magazine into him and he's not dead yet. Well, shit, I'm reloading and taking a bunch of damage in the process, you know. You can out-heal it, just go around a corner, it's like, oh, he's back at full HP again, you know. What the fuck am I going to do about that?
I saw an amazing, it might have been one that Krendo and I were playing. It was the other team's Mercy got play of the game. We couldn't figure out why, and we got to see the video, and it was amazing because what happened was the other team rushed in on the point, and we used all of our ults to kill them. Mercy, from her point of view, literally stood behind a wall, waited until they all rushed in and died, came around the wall, res them all, and was like, you used all your ults, bitches. We were like, that's genius.
That's why she's so good.
Yeah,
Mercy
like,
is top
they
tier.
were so coordinated.
But you do have to know when to just like stay out of the battle
Yes.
so that you can be useful. And I think
Totally.
sometimes that goes against like your urges to be useful to the team is like, but if I'm not in the battle, if I'm not like helping them right now, then I'm not being a good healer. But it's like sometimes you have to just like hold back for a second so that you can have that comeback, you know.
Because the ulti res is literally a game winner. You know, it's that important, especially if if your opponent's team just burned a bunch of ults, and that's like, well, okay, everyone's back up again. It's like, Jesus, okay, you know, that's why she's so good, I think. But I don't really enjoy playing most of the healer classes. But they're buffing the one that I do, and they're adding a new one who sounds really interesting. She's a sniper healer. So it's like you got to aim to heal. I dig that. That sounds interesting.
I like
love
that she
that
can
she
put
can
people to
stay way
sleep.
in the back. She can be way far back and keep healing you. The only problem is if you suck at targeting.
If you can't
I'm a
aim.
terrible sniper, so it's not what I should be doing ever. But I'm excited for her to exist in the world.
She sounds like someone I would play, you know, because like I'd feel pretty good about picking off those, you know, getting those clutch heals from a distance. That sounds really good. Her ultimate sounds really powerful because again, it screws over heals. You know, it stops your opponents getting healed for a few seconds, and all the healing sources actually go to your teammates. So it's like that's a game changer. And as I say, she's got that sleep thing, which is neat. So she's got an escape.
Everyone I talked to I guess after E3, Blizzard had some people down to play it, to play her. So I think everyone who played her is under the same impression that she basically is the exact same counters as Widowmaker, though. So if you're like, how do you stop this? Literally, it's the exact same like counters to stop her. So
yeah, she'll be made of paper. You
balance.
fucking get behind her with Reaper or whatever, and just fucking blow
she's
it up.
done. Yeah, which is great. Good for the game. Good for the game continuing to be like. There's always a way to just murder someone down. Perfect. Keep it up.
Yeah, some people are saying apparently I got the abilities mixed up. Apparently the grenade is not her ultimate. Her ultimate's actually like a team-based buff, which
It's
sounds...
a super buff on one person.
Right.
It's
Okay,
the-
that's what it is. All right.
What the hell's that damn thing called? She says it in the trailer. She like gives them nanomachines. Can we get a nanomachine?
Nanomachine, son.
Nanomachine, son.
Metal Gear crossover.
Yeah,
I'd kill for that. Yeah, it's called Nano Boost. Yeah. Kind of surprised that that is the ultimate and not the biotic grenade. Was like, wow, gets rid of healing? Like, that sounds like an ultimate to me. That sounds like ultimate level strength, but I guess apparently not. Fair enough.
Boost, son.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, so Nano Boost is they take less damage, they move faster, and they deal more damage. Yeah. So it's like what Mercy can do, except you don't have to be stuck to them, and it's an ulti that you can't do all the time. So bit of a variance. Yeah.
Yo, Nano Boost on a Mercy-powered Genji. What would that even look like?
Oh God.
Oh my god.
God help us. That is
Slaughter.
Everything on the entire map dies immediately, despite where he actually is. Doesn't matter. He's at spawn. He's like, and then everyone just falls over. It's like, all right,
a
cool.
black hole forms and sucks the map in, and everyone.
It's actually just the game ends and it's instant play of the game for Genji. That's it.
Yeah,
the match doesn't even have to get over. You know, that's their way to solve the overtime problem. They literally just make the game end immediately.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do we know if her sleep isn't a snipe though? Right? It's like that's
no,
another thing she
it's a
throws.
sidearm. So you draw some like little pistol thing and go bop.
Yeah.
So it's not a snipe now. God, that would be awful. If it was a snipe.
I feel like that would
Oh,
suck.
God.
Yeah, just
It's
like
like-
suddenly fall asleep and be like, no.
Oh Jesus, yeah. I mean, either you do that to the fucking Bastion, or you do that to the Mercy at the back, and like, Jesus, that would be ridiculous. Yeah, it's a pistol for kind of short range. Oh fuck, there's a McCree behind me. Bop, run away.
I feel like McCree could also still counter that though. If you can get that.
Well, if you
Grenade
flashbang her first, then she's
Yeah.
dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
got
like
you just got to be
It's a
quick
way
with
to
it.
escape though.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
it's
has
like
an
a
escape,
nice,
which is more like
useful-
safe as Zenyatta.
Yeah, exactly.
So that works.
Oh, I wonder if that's a good like. I accidentally stumbled upon this Bastion. Sleep. I'm gonna walk away now.
Hey guys, found this new Bastion. Linked up in the description for those who want to check him out. That joke's never going to get old, by the way. I'm going to run the shit into the ground.
Could you sleep a turret? I know you can't do a lot of shit to the Torbjorn turrets in this game. Could you sleep a turret?
I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah. The first person who tries and gets murdered, just like every other person's like, I wonder if I can do this to a turret, and they're instantly
Nope.
gunned down. You're like,
Nope, can't do that.
Oh, never
Turns out
mind.
you can't, no.
My bad.
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm still playing that game on a daily basis. Just a couple of sessions here and there. Still got no interest in competitive. I got to the level I need for competitive. I'm like, yeah, don't care. I don't want to play Overwatch for 45 minutes at a time or whatever, or even 30. Just like 10 minutes is good. I do a sesh, I'll leave. I don't care about the result. I don't care about the people that were there. That was it. That's good for me. That works.
I think it's starting to like progressively even out where the super mega like I must be the best have now gone off to a different world. They're doing their thing at like this 70+ area, and being 50 has never felt better. I'm enjoying myself. It is great. Being
Strongly
average
disagree.
middleman-
I'm getting matched up against guys who are like either I was matched up against two guys that were double prestige yesterday. I was like, how the fuck have you put in this many hours already?
What? Come on, man.
Yeah, the enemy team was like all 90s. I'm like, well, this will be interesting. I guess I'm going to play the lowest skill kept character I can find and hope for the best. You know? I assume they use some sort of hidden MMR or whatever, but you know, and I know that levels don't mean skill, but it does mean playtime. So
Yeah.
it's like these guys have put a lot of hours in. Fuck.
Yeah, pretty much that's across the board what everyone said so far. They just don't know. There's no transparency on why you're matched where you're at, or where you're placed where you're at. Hopefully season 2 will be based off season 1, so it won't be an issue. But I was like, I can't tell you why I played the exact same games with Krendor and Gmart and it was 6 levels below them. I don't know. I don't know what I did differently. I was healing. Is that why? Like I can't tell you what the difference was.
So I'll tell you a game that is weirdly enough a Blizzard game. It's taking the opposite approach. Starcraft 2, I believe today, is releasing finally its Grand Ladder revamp, which is a
Interesting.
huge rework of the way the
Now?
matchmaking works in that game. Yeah,
Her?
yeah. Absolutely, and they've got full transparency. They're going to show full MMR. They're granulating, I like the progression a lot. So it's kind of a bit like the way the League does it. Like, there's various, like, hey, like Diamond 1, Diamond 2, kind of all that sort of stuff. You see exactly, they're being very transparent about your skill level and who you're getting matched up with. And it also has this really sick promotion animations now. So it's like, yeah, your little thing has a bunch of stars and explodes and shit. So it's like, there we go, I've got a reason to play again. But what I've read about it sounds really, really good, actually. Like, they've done a lot to just completely revamp the ladder, both on the high level and on the low level, which is awesome. Because I felt like they needed to do both, really. Because the high level guys were like, Grandmaster League is shit. Basically, once, there's only 200 spots available in the Grandmaster League, which is where the pro guys are. So if you don't get in the first, day, you kind of can't get into Grandmaster at all, despite how good you are. They've now changed that, so people are going to be demoted on, a daily basis, so there's going to be constant motion and movement. There's a bunch of tiers to all the different leagues, so Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 for each league, which is great. You're going to be seeing relative position to who you're playing against and all that sort of thing. So a lot of little changes that don't sound too important, but a different distribution in terms of the player base's skill, in terms of the leagues that they're in and all that sort of thing. So I'm happy they've done that. That game's still going really strong in terms of its multiplayer community. They still have a lot of people playing multiplayer, especially now the co-op mode's got really, really great. They've added weekly mutators to the co-op. A lot of people are really psyched about that. So, yeah, the game still seems to be going pretty strong.
I tried
honestly.
that shit.
It's hard. It's fucking difficult. Holy fuck.
We gave up after 6 minutes into the match. The guy messaged, she's like, I don't think we're going to beat this. I was like, no, you're absolutely right. We just got our asses kicked.
Well, remember during the, when we did the sponsored videos for that, when we're like, yeah, this is totally easy. We could totally do brutal mode. They took that feedback and said, fuck Jesse Cox in particular, and put the mutators in. So every week there's a different set of mutators you can get in the co-op mode, and the co-op mode is fucking awesome, by the way. Sounds like I'm shilling, because I fucking am. You can play that for free. You don't even need to pay for the game to play co-op. You just need the starter edition, which is free. So you get a friend, you play the co-op mode, which is a bunch of different missions, and they now have weekly mutators that make the game super fucking hard. So you want to challenge yourself.
Perfect example. One of the maps that TB and I played was we had to go take and capture points, but you both had to go together to capture them, right? Well, in the mutator mode that we had, it was the enemy had its own Spear of Adun. And so which is a giant fucking laser that comes from the sky and murders you, by the way. So I am sitting here like, oh, well, I think I have a level 7, I'm trying to think of what her name is right now, but the one where you can get your Void Race. And so I'm like, oh, well, I'll just Void Ray the hell out of this. So I start making a massive Void Ray army. We go to take one of these points, and it does the game does time stop on my army. Spear of Aduns that kills every single one.
Wipes the whole lot out.
Everything was dead. We could not, I could not take it because both teams have to be there. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll make one guy and send him. We got totally effed. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this is much harder.
Wasn't there a week where they had giant invisible banelings that would just blow up your shit repeatedly? There's different difficulties. There's easy mode, normal, hard, and brutal. I call this dick mode, and it is fucking difficult.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the game was too easy. Not anymore, bitches! There's a lot of that in there. Co-op mode's great in that game. It's totally worth checking out, even if it's like, I've never played Starcraft before. It's like, yeah, so you get a cut-down set of units, a bunch of cool abilities you can use, you play with a friend, and you play these missions, and it's great. And it's fucking free! Go play it. It's fucking free. Why wouldn't you? You can play Abatha, who's amazing. Starcraft's great. Watch my tournament in a couple of weeks on twitch.tv/TotalBiscuit. New King of the Hill. It's going to be great. Let's take a break, and when we come back, I'm trying to think of what fucking news we're going to cover, because, we just talked about the Overwatch thing. What the hell's happened this week? We're going to come up with something, right?
Evolve.
Evolve, yes. I guess we're going to talk about Evolve for an hour or some shit. I don't know. Oh, God. All right. Well, you're watching the Corruptional Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after the break with yet more talking about things.
Talking about things.
Talking about them things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast. Those asking what the music is during the break, the fucking Furi soundtrack. Pretty much all day, every day at this point. I don't think I found a a soundtrack this year that I've enjoyed more than this one. It's that fucking good. And everyone's, are you being silent? Oh, there you go. I was like, are you being silent on purpose or did shit break again? All right, cool.
We already established it was good. I didn't know we need to affirm it.
You need to affirm it multiple fucking times.
I was eating nudes, sick nudes in my mouth.
Slooping nudes, y'all.
I was slooping nudes.
Slooping nudes, what?
Want to talk about Evolve?
Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. You and your weird phrases and colloquial nonsense in your local sports teams.
The sick nudes.
I ignore the fact Jesse's older than me. How old are you, Dan?
Slooping
I'm curious.
nudes.
I just turned 30.
He's younger than me by 2 years. There you go.
I'm right behind you, Dan.
And he still has more hair than I do. Fuck.
Oh.
All right. That's got a lid on it. What the fuck am I doing with my life? All right. Let's talk about Evolve. So, Evolve re-released itself as a free-to-play game. And they're calling it Evolve Stage 2.
Only on PC.
Only on PC, yes.
Just to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that prior to this, Evolve was dead as fuck. Like, dead as a dodo, more dead than Battleborn dead. Dead, dead, dead. It launched really well. A lot of people played it. A lot of people streamed it. After about 2 weeks, everybody fucking stopped. And almost nobody was playing that game. Of course, now it's got free-to-play. A bunch of people are playing again. Of course they are, predictably. The thing is, that's not all they did. Like, they didn't just say, hey, we're making it free-to-play. They actually changed a bunch of shit. They remodeled a lot of the classes, and they made it so that the game is a lot more aggressive now. It's a lot less hide-and-seek, which I found to be kind of interesting. Dan, were you part of the wave of people that were playing that around launch on Twitch? Because almost everybody was playing it for like a week on Twitch when it came out.
Yeah, I played it right away, like everyone else, and I got kind of bored because I felt like there wasn't that much content in it.
No,
like,
there wasn't.
Only a handful of monsters and a handful of different hunters, and that was it. And I felt like, and they wanted you to buy a season pass to get a few more, and then another season pass to get a few more on top of that.
I think there was a lot of bad vibes coming from the way that they handled their DLC that also sort of tanked it.
There absolutely was. I mean, it was, some of it was unfortunate because I think that a lot of people got very angry about the launch DLC that was actually nothing but a bunch of skins. Like, it wasn't even important. The issue was not that, it was the fucking double season pass setup that they had with it. It's like, there was a hunter pass and a monster pass. It was like, fuck, man, I don't even know if I like the game yet, and you're trying to sell me all this shit? You know, I don't even know if the game's going to be around in 6 months, and as it turns out, it wasn't, you know? But I didn't even play when they brought the fourth monster out. Like, I don't think anyone was playing by that point.
Mm-mm. I don't even know what the fourth monster is. I didn't
care.
care.
I was going to say, I don't even know what it is.
Isn't there like 5 in it now? Like, I think there's like 5 monsters. I know that there was one called like the Goliath or something that they were putting in. And I'll be honest, I just didn't pay much attention to it because, like, it's as you were saying, Dan, that game seriously lacked content. Like, it had a couple of different game modes, but they weren't all that well fleshed out. Like, what you could do in each mode was very limited. Like, it almost felt to me like they should have taken all the game modes and mashed them into one game mode. So you had like a bunch of different sub-objectives and shit like that. Because as it stood, it was just a glorified hide-and-seek. Which is kind of what I view Dead by Daylight as, but, you know, I have accepted that people are going to disagree with me on that game, and you know what, that's fine. But this game really was like, it's hide-and-seek. You're the monster, alright, try not to get caught, run around, eat shit, get big enough to fight them. And of course, if you're the hunters, it's like, sprint, just keep going and going, it's like, bloody hell, you know, can I not fight?
As I think Dead by Daylight suffers from the same things as Evolve, but Dead by Daylight is very short in comparison. Whereas Evolve dragged, right? Like, each game lasted so long and it was so much repetitive gameplay and it just wasn't active enough at all.
Yes.
And that game had so many alphas and betas that pretty much was all of the game content.
It was.
Played it for so long. By the time it actually released, I had already played everything and it was out of my system. I was kind of bored of it by then because not much changed at launch.
I completely agree. And it was very weird to see that as well because I do remember playing the alpha. I'm like, wow, this is a really solid foundation. Then it launched, it's like, this was all the game was, wasn't it? Fuck. Right, well, I guess I played it for like a week and that was it, But I've got to be honest, I'm a little intrigued now. Apparently, as I say, it's much easier to catch the monster, but the monster is more effective at all stages. So, the best bit of that game was fighting the fucking monster. But of course, the way the game was supposed to play is the monster should never even let you fight him until he gets to stage 3, at which point he fucking dominates you. Now, apparently, it's much easier to fight the monster and catch him because there's like a planet-wide scanner and all these other abilities, but it's also much easier to fight as the monster. You're a bit more effective. Apparently, attacks are more deadly. That's what I've heard so far. Has anyone had a chance to, or any interest in playing it again?
I would be down to play with a group of friends, but I have no interest in queuing up just like to see how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like if a bunch of people were like, "Hey, we're gonna go do this," I'd be like, "All right, I'll give it a go."
Let's all try out this thing that might still be a shit show. That's the situation I want to put myself in.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's free for the shit show now. I mean, they've
True.
made some changes.
True.
Right now, all the content in it's free. Apparently, they're implementing microtransaction system, but it's not in it yet. So it's like, go play now. You literally get the whole fucking game for free, apparently. So, like, those that bought it previously are pretty pissed. But simultaneously, they now have a game with people in it, which they didn't have before, so that's a plus.
Aren't they giving, I don't even know what it means, though. They were like, we're going to give all of the people who bought it on PC a founder, you're a founder now.
Yes.
And I was like, what does that mean, though?
Yeah, they didn't really clarify. I'm like, "Ooh, great, yay,
Yeah,
founder!"
I'm so honored, I guess.
Yeah, they were going to give you a bunch of keys, which are supposedly unlocking at 3,000 silver keys, all past and future adaptations for previously owned Hunters and Monsters, because they're going to do variants on Monsters and Hunters now. So it's like, it's the same dude, but he's got different stats, which I'm a fucking sucker for variants of anything. Put variants in every game ever. I love that. It's just like, I love this character, but what if this thing was slightly different? And the game is like, here you go. I'm like, that is great. I love you now. And anything that you owned previously will be carried over, apparently. If you own Hunters, Monsters, and Skins, it'll be carried over, which I fucking well hope so. And there are animated badges for founders. I can understand that if you paid a bunch of money, especially if you got the PC Monster Race Edition on launch. Sorry. But simultaneously, I think that's a giant warning to not buy some giant-ass Season Pass big special edition of a multiplayer-only game that has a really cool concept.
This is such a case-in-point situation.
It really is. Mm-hmm. It's the showpiece for this. I feel Battleborn might become that, but Battleborn still has a single player, and it still has co-op. This was multiplayer only, If the player base dies for that game, you're utterly fucked, and people were, after about a month. That game's player base... I've never seen a player base of a AAA game dive that fast. Mm-hmm. Insane. Just bonkers.
And there's just no reason to ever buy a season pass at launch. They're not going to run out of them. They're not. They're going to sell at that discount price for months on end. So there's really zero reason to invest your money right away.
Mm-hmm. Be careful with games like that. I'm glad it's back, though. I'm actually kind of surprised that they even bothered. To me, it's just like, eat your losses, make your next game. But they seem like they really give a fuck about this game.
I feel like they put a lot of effort into it, and they're also seeing that people are still interested in asymmetric games.
Yes.
They still are interested in that style of game and having it be perfected by somebody.
Yeah.
So why not, like, they already sunk so much money into it, why not just adjust it and see how it does?
Try it again.
Yeah.
So far, so good with it. We'll see whether or not what I'm going to be very interested in is, can it maintain its player base? Because obviously right now, super popular.
People
but
stick around. Yeah.
Yeah, but ultimately they just gave you the whole game for free. So, I mean, it's understandable. But it's so... It kind of... As much of a shit show as that game was on launch, this still makes me kind of happy. Because it had so much potential. And I love different ideas for multiplayer. Especially asymmetric stuff. A lot of companies didn't take the risk with that in the past. Because they're like, well, people will get upset if everyone's not equally balanced. And now we've got to the point where it's like, actually, no, they won't. And it's actually cool to have a team of weaker dudes versus a more powerful dude that have to work together to take it down. I love that feeling. That feels great. It's just Evolve didn't have anywhere near enough in it on launch to keep people playing that mode. So if this game comes back, great. I mean, I want to try it again because it sounds like they may have fixed some of the problems I had with it in the first place, which was the hide and seek bullshit that spent, that it took so fucking long. Yeah, so they made some major changes to the way that it works. The mobile arena is now a shared ability that always centers on the monster, so you can't fuck it up. And all 4 hunter classes are apparently more easily accessible and have better team synergy. The trappers have what's called a planet scanner that tells the hunters generally the direction where the monster is on the map.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's the hide and seek shit is way less of an issue now because they can use the planet scanner. It's like, he's that way. It's like, okay, cool. All hunters have a passive health regeneration that automatically heals players when they're not taking damage, so bad medics aren't as much of a problem to the team. Everyone has a personal shield now. All monsters have more health and start with more skill points. You can start all 4 abilities at the start of the match. That's much more interesting. Yeah. Instead of like, I'm going to hide for 10 minutes until I eventually get my full skill set. No, go fucking kill him. Get him.
You got them all. Just get them.
Yeah. I love
the monster, man. Do it. Do the thing.
You shouldn't be as the monster being a pussy for like 10 minutes hiding. Yeah,
that didn't make any sense to me.
No, it didn't.
Absolutely.
So this is really cool, actually. I'm not going to be so cynical about it. I love it when games come back from the dead. I've always said, it's great to give a game another shot if it deserves it, if it's done what it needs to earn it.
Totally.
I hope it happens to Battleborn in a year because that game is obviously having problems.
I was literally just thinking about Battleborn and how bad I feel for that game.
And it's sad because they cleaned up a lot of the visuals in a recent patch and it's a lot better now, but there's not that many players anymore, which makes matchmaking more difficult. I'm like, oh dear. Yeah. Hopefully that game eventually goes free to play and comes back in a big way, and because I think that game's really solid. I love my time with Battleborn, but there's just not that many people playing it anymore, and it died off real quick. So it's interesting to see a change in business model be potentially the thing which can resurrect a game like that.
It's free to play has done that for a lot of games, and it's something that I'm not sure as a company. I mean, we even saw with what was it, Guild Wars? It was some game that we were talking about where literally they went free to play, and it's like
Old Republic.
Yeah, Old Republic.
It was one of them. They went free to play, and like the amount of people playing and the amount of money they earned as a company skyrocketed.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things where, I guess it's you first have to admit that you kind of screwed up, and it was a failure, and then be like, we're going to go free to play and take that chance. But I know a lot of companies will never do
WildStar, I think, was also a very recent example of something that did that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Krendo and I, we were totally paid to go back and play the game again. But they were like, hey, we will give you money to go play this game again. Try it out, please. It's actually way better than it was before. Like,
yeah, of course it is.
It's like light years ahead of what it was at launch, which is just something that we did not expect. And when we were done, we were like, holy shit, that was super effing fun. And I guess when people decide to have a new outlook on their game and are like, maybe we should try something differently.
Yeah.
Actually work.
That's one of the reasons why I was so happy when Steam changed the way that the reviews work.
Yes.
You can put it in order by most recent reviews, because games definitely, come back from the dead in a big way with like a huge overhaul. And if you're looking at the user reviews just overall and it's negative, but the user reviews from the last month or so are all really positive, it's like, I need to be able to see that, right? So I thought it was so smart when they finally did that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think the big inherent problem with all of it is, though, a game has that initial launch, and then even if they have that comeback as free to play, it's very rare, because between the time that they launched and the time they decided, well, we have to go free to play, a bajillion more games have come out. And so capturing an audience again is so tough. And so the few that do it, I think are awesome, and more power to them, because that's probably the hardest thing in the world to do. So congrats to those guys who have done it so far. And let's see what happens with Evolve. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I have personally the life to, like, the time in my life to go back and play. But you know, if it's something that people are into, then
I'll dive into a few rounds. Why not? You know?
yeah.
It's like it's not like committing to an MMO again. You know what's interesting actually is that the games that have mostly succeeded doing this are MMOs that have switched from sub to free to play. I remember DDO doing it, and DDO has a very special place in my heart.
DDO was really fun.
It was so unique, and it still is so fucking unique. You know, amongst MMOs, DDO is very different. I should play DDO again. I gotta get my bard out again.
Walk away. Don't do it.
I playing my songs. I was the guitar guy in the background. I was like, yeah, and everyone was like, yeah, I'm gonna attack it. All your attacks are dice rolls. You literally see the dice rolls. There's a fucking dungeon master that narrates your shit. There's traps, and then the dungeon master's like, there's a trap around that corner. It's like, I don't believe you. Oh fuck. But
There was.
that game had all sorts of kills. Lord of the Rings Online is still alive because of free to play.
Lord of the Rings Online
DDO.
was the one I was thinking about. Lord of the Rings Online sucked as a paid game. Free to play started blowing up. Like man. I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, because it was like you can't be a subscription-based game anymore because WoW has all the subs. So people are like, well, fuck, let's go free to play. And for most MMOs, because there aren't actually that many MMOs competing with them, it works. You know, there's not like 500 MMOs coming out in the time between the two. Whereas with a game like Evolve, it's like, well, people could go back to Evolve, but there's still all these other shooters and Overwatch and all that other shit that's dominating the market now. Whereas with MMOs, like, these games are big and expensive, and I feel like it's very... Developers definitely don't want to abandon MMOs because they put a lot of money into them and a lot of time and work.
Yeah, all these companies want to try to get that guaranteed income that WoW gets with their subscription based. But when you release a brand new MMO at the same subscription price as WoW, you're competing against them, and you're going against 8+ years of development time versus your brand new game, and they're just going to lose every time if you try that.
You don't have what they do. You know, that was one of the things with WildStar when that came out. The WildStar build itself is like, you remember those 40-man raids in WoW Vanilla? We're going to do that again. It's like, okay, I mean, to some degree, I find that appealing. And then I rapidly realized I don't have the time for this shit anymore. I used to when I was 18, but not anymore now. But then I was like, well, hang on a minute. The problem is that WoW had a bunch of raids, and you don't have that many because you don't have like that as many sentences. What the fuck? As much development time behind it.
Welcome to my world, TB. Now you just like to talk with me.
Words.
Word salad and blah, blah, blah. They just keep coming out. I'm not thinking about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's WoW and there's Final Fantasy 14. What other MMOs are like really successful with a subscription right now?
Oh.
Well, I mean, think about it. Final Fantasy has the Final Fantasy name / player base, and Warcraft has the Warcraft name. And I feel like all the other ones try to do the exact same thing, but the audience for those things, like Star Wars, isn't like a computer game audience. Lord of the Rings isn't a computer game. Like it's a weird kind of like Final Fantasy is a gamer audience. Gamers are gonna be like, yo, I want that.
The ones who commit to it.
Yeah, Warcraft comes from that like
Eve.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah, that's still very successful as a subscription-based game. But Eve is a very specialist audience. Like, there's nothing like Eve, you know? So people are willing to pay to experience what Eve has to offer. The problem is, like, there's a lot like your generic MMO. You know, I think of, like, games like Rift and how similar it was to WoW, down to the point that when I first started playing Rift, I started playing a mage, and the fire tree was literally the same as the WoW one. They just renamed the abilities. And KOTOR, same shit with KOTOR as well. It's like, that I remember that from WoW, that from WoW, that from WoW. So it was so hard to differentiate. There was a really interesting question that was asked to me in a Q&A that I did last week, where this guy's like, I play a game called iRacing, and that's not an MMO, but you pay a sub fee to play iRacing. And it's like, and people pay it gladly. And they're like, well, the reason is because that is a really specialist game. Like, it's a top-tier simulator racing game. So those who want that experience can't find it anywhere else, so they'll pay a premium. Same with, you know, everyone mocks Train Simulator having thousands of dollars of DLC. Guess what? They're super fucking successful because it's the best of the best of the best of that one specific niche. And people are willing to pay boku for that. They're willing to pay premium.
I don't get it for that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you love, I mean, think about like how expensive it actually is to like do a real like train set, like collect a really like high-end train set. It's really expensive. So, getting a train simulator is actually, like, compared to that, quite good value. If you think about it. Video games are surprisingly cheap. People keep forgetting that compared to a lot of other hobbies. I was looking at, I think it was something that Polaris promoted a while ago, which is this little, like, you remember Scale X-Trick from a while ago? Actually, you're American, you probably don't.
The Anki Drive?
Yes, slot car
Anki?
racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was called. Yeah, the Anki Drive. I was looking at that. It's like, that's cool. That reminds me of my childhood. It's like, oh, cool. It's much more advanced version of slot car racing. I looked at the price of them. It's like, hobbies that aren't video games are quite expensive. It's like, I'd spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on a great setup for this. And people complain about $60 video games. Like,
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yes. Fucking Warhammer.
Where'd all my money go? Oh, into those fucking figurines.
Did I spend $850 on one model that I never assembled? Yes. Warhammer,
did.
ladies and gentlemen. Warhammer. Do I have thousands of dollars of fucking fake Star Trek ships on my shelves? Yes. Yes, I do.
I love the did not assemble part. Like, you got it.
Yeah,
It was too complicated. I couldn't do it. I would break it. I was scared to break it. It was still in bags. I had a fucking Chaos Warhound Titan.
We'll do that for you.
It's like, yeah,
I probably spent around.
but that's
$1,000
more money.
in the
That's
list.
more money.
Maybe.
It's like, this is a $45 fucking ship for the X-Men Miniatures game. You're complaining about the price of video games? This is a hunk of fucking plastic. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, look at even like Lego models.
Yeah.
Like the big ones, hundreds of dollars for like a Death Star. It's incredible. And now I know why my parents wouldn't buy them for me as a kid. They're very expensive.
That'll be why. Video games are comparatively pretty fucking cheap. It's a cheap hobby, We should all be very grateful for that. Oh, God. Magic the Gathering. Don't even start me. No, I'm not getting back into that game again. Nope, not happening.
But you could just play the Magic the Gathering Oh, wait. It's horse shit.
It's
Never
horse
mind.
shit. Yes. Oh, God. Oh, God. Anyone else got any topics they want to throw into the ring? It's been like a surprise. We're not going to do the whole disclosure shit again. We've done that to death. And frankly, I literally reported on it 20 months ago. So, grats, Rest the News, for catching up with me. Jesus. It's like you're all staring at my ass because I'm so fucking far ahead of you.
So the Shadows of Mordor thing is the same thing it was
Yes.
a while ago. They're just
Literally, yes.
It's just now actually a thing.
Yes. It's literally now the FTC has said, yes, it was a thing, don't do it again.
Literally.
Yes, the thing I reported on 20 months ago, yeah.
It's
a fine arse, though,
At this point, I'm
you
like,
know.
I can't even care.
I know. It seems to happen every fucking week. Anyone else get any, like, news or anything they want to toss in? Anything they'd love to talk about? Anything that's burning on their brain right now? Oh, there was one little thing, actually, that's relevant to most of the people. Actually, it's relevant to 50% of the people here. It's relevant to Dan and Dodger. So they announced that they're going to expand the Twitch cheering system so that now you can cheer individual players in esports tournaments.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Which I
So
think...
the idea being that overall you'd be able to go to a stream and cheer a specific person who's on that stream instead of the streamer.
Yeah, in certain supported tournaments. So, like, in the big major tournaments, they're going to have a list of people, and apparently you can now cheer their players.
Interesting.
That could be interesting during stuff like EVO. I think that's actually a really good use for the system.
Yeah, it would be an interesting way for people that are in the tournaments to make extra money, even if they don't win, from the cheering system. Kind of interesting concept.
So
I worry
I wanna
about
point-
if they...
It's being tested out at EVO first.
At EVO. Yeah, EVO's going to be it. I want to point out, by the way, I did this 3 fucking years ago in StarCraft, so ahead of the game once again, but it's cool to see it being
Looking at
integrated.
your ass yet again.
They're just staring at my fine ass. I don't blame them. But one way or the other, it is a cool idea. I love the idea that you can just say, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing. I think if they integrate it into a lot of the smaller games, it's going to be really good. Because, I mean, at stuff like, say, the CSGO majors or the international, those people are walking home with money anyway. But a lot of these smaller tournaments, some of these guys are paying to get there themselves.
Well,
They attributed the idea to me? I actually didn't know that. Did they? It's in the blog. It was inspired by me. Cool. Yay. I didn't read that. See? I'm not bragging. It was actually fucking true for once. You bastards.
Hashtag humble brag. No, but I think that it's. I can't wait to see what it does.
That made my day. That did.
Like single person competition, like Street Fighter, or like Evo's the perfect testing ground because I imagine it's much harder for like a 5-man team or whatever to do some crazy stuff there. But can you imagine what would happen when people are like, "Oh, I can get cheers for showmanship"? The entrance to events will be so crazy hype. I want that so badly. I want people to just. We need more shirts off at Evo. We need more guys going crazy. I want it. I want it so badly. And I want everyone there to lose their mind. That'd be amazing. No one can hear you, Dodger.
No.
No one
we still can't hear you. You're muted.
She's just muted. She's just muted, and now she's doing weird voices.
You're still muted.
Still muted.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
What the fuck? I clicked it like 4 times. What the fuck is this?
I thought it was like, unless we cheer you, you're not coming back.
I require cheers to be on this show. Thank you very much. I didn't say anything that mattered, so let's all move on.
It's cool. You know, I think it's a nice little bit of positivity. It's encouraging people to sort of appreciate those that do really, really cool shit. I think that's a good use for it. So hopefully they expand that to more. And I really hope that they try. I don't know how they're going to do that because I imagine like they have to individually implement that per tournament, which sounds really fucking hard. I wonder if you're going to be able to maybe, as a tournament organizer, set that up in the Twitch backend at some point, like put in your player roster and setups like you could cheer for all these people and these are the people who are going to play. I think that could be really cool. Especially for smaller tournaments, as I said, like where people literally pay their own way to get there for smaller games. It would be so cool to be able to support them that way. So that's cool. I like it.
I could see them like in the future expanding this to like just everyone, to where like if you're having a collab stream with other people, people could cheer for people that are on your broadcast in the chat, which would be a kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would be too hard to implement either. It's something you do in the back end. It reminds me of the way that YouTube does its credits system now, where you can upload a YouTube video and you can put like producer, actor, and stuff in in little boxes. You could probably just do that with a stream. It's like these are the people who are on. I'd say do it for Awesome Games Done Quick as well, but like I think that's more of a charity event, so I don't know if I'd necessarily want to be encouraging people to give money to the person that was playing because I think they're all doing it for charity though. But
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you could obviously just do like /cheer and then the Twitch username, but what if they don't have one? You know, it's got potential. It's got potential to be positive, I think.
For sure.
So that's nice.
Do we know if cheering is going to be on all channels, like partnered or no?
Well, I got an email a couple of weeks ago that said they're expanding the beta, but I don't know if it's going to be on all channels. I mean, for me, I've never taken donations, and I don't really feel comfortable doing that because it's not really our business model. So, I mean, we've kind of said to Twitch that we want to opt out of it. I don't know if they're going to do opt-in or opt-out for it. We just don't know at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Twitch knows either.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they want to make it so where there's going to be a page where you can turn any feature of it you want off or on. Mm-hmm. They're already working on a dashboard where they can do some things already. So I'm sure they're going to have an option to disable it completely if people don't want it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if non-partnered streamers would be able to benefit from cheering or no.
Yeah, that's the question is like, is this a plan to roll out across Twitch, like subscriptions too, where everyone can have it regardless if they're a partner or not?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be partners only still?
It's probably going to be partners only still because like the sheer number of people, bear in mind, you've got to set up a payment system. You've got to sign all of the relevant tax forms for everybody involved. Mm-hmm. You've got to set up payroll. I mean, people wonder, it's like, well, why don't partners have access to this stuff? Because the sheer amount of people that actually stream on Twitch versus the number of partners is massive. A lot of these people have 1 or 2 viewers or whatever. If you had to set up tax forms and do all of this payroll on a year-by-year basis for everybody, that would be a huge expense for Twitch. That's probably why it would be restricted to partners. But it's totally a thing that they really should roll out to everybody because it's hugely beneficial to people that make no money from ads or whatever, you know? But then again, you can still do PayPal donation for that. It's not like they're shut off from it. It's just a different system. Runs alongside it. As long as they
Yeah, I
don't
think-
turn around and ban PayPal, which they never will. That's never going to happen.
They won't.
That was the big conspiracy theory about cheering was they're going to
No.
ban it. It was like, that's
No
never
chance.
going to happen.
Are you
They don't
kidding
do
me?
that.
The
They
revolt
serve
would be
different
massive.
purposes.
Yeah.
They kind of do, yeah. In many ways, you know, and I've explained the sort of the economy between like a swarm of micro donations versus a couple of guys giving big donations. You know, it actually expands the donation market, I think, rather than shrinks it. So it's cool they're building more features.
I'm in the beta, and I know a lot of people that have been cheering for me normally don't do donations, so they don't like PayPal.
Yeah.
And they like Amazon and stuff. So like people that aren't donating before now are with the business.
In my chat, it feels more like it's a celebratory thing. Like if I achieve something in a game, then it'll be like, you did it, and then
Yeah.
a cheer happens in chat, right? As like a just something sort of special to throw into the chat ecosystem, which I think is also one of the goals that they had. So
Yeah, it's
Why people will only do it for me because they do it for me. They just show up and they're like, here, have money. And I'm like, wow, I didn't deserve that. And they're like, have more money. I'm like, but guys, that's what I think's going to happen.
mm-hmm.
They're just going to keep throwing
That sounds
money.
right.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I've been told by the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's made it so easy just to throw a little bit of bits at people constantly throughout a whole stream versus always logging into PayPal and doing the donation thing.
Yeah, it is a lot easier. And it's more fun. You know, they gamified the system for a good reason.
Mhm.
So we'll see how it turns out. I hope that the next phase is that you can then do it to charities. That would be really cool. It's like /cheer charity water 5,000 or whatever. That would be great. I'd love to see that.
That would be awesome at AGDQ if you could cheer towards the donation, towards the charity itself. That would bring in a lot more money even.
It would, yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me in any way if that happens in the next one. That seems like the logical next conclusion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be good. All right, so we've got 15 minutes left of the show, which means that we're going to be discussing the upcoming releases that I once again am not sent to Dodger because I'm shit at my job.
Oh, we didn't have time again for my article, TV.
What article was that?
Article?
My article, Japan's first virtual reality porn festival canceled due to overcrowding.
I feel there's not a lot to discuss regarding that.
No, I just want to keep bringing it up every episode just to remind everyone this happened.
That's fine. I accept that.
Just to remind everyone that was a thing that occurred and was reported around the world.
A giant event where no one can come.
I knew we brought you on the show for a reason.
Thank you.
No
Thank you for
problem,
this
yes.
Beautiful.
All right, let us bring up Steam and judge books by their covers, because that's what we do in this section of the show. All right, here we go.
July 12th, we have Pirates of the Polygon Sea.
What the shit? What is that? Is that a Steam?
Never heard of that.
Oh, you want to heard of most of these. Like, these are mostly Steam releases, and a lot of them are obscure as fuck. This actually looks pretty neat, surprisingly enough. It looks a bit like Sid Meier's Pirates. It's like you explore the high seas, you go to ship, you go to towns, you trade. It's like a kind of top-down thing. You fight sea monsters. It's early access, but I'm up for another Sid Meier's Pirates game. There hasn't been a good pirate game in a while, so I'm cool with that.
Next up is Tumblestone, which I actually know about.
I know a bit too, so go for it.
Yeah, it's a little Tumblr puzzle game. I actually don't know how to explain this game, but it's very fun.
They claim to be the first original action puzzle game in the last 15 years. Basically, they mean that everything's been a match 3 up to this point. So they've created something like that. It's also competitive. Like, apparently you can play, it looks like you can play with up to 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
It has online multiplayer, local multiplayer, competitive, bots, a story mode with a 40-hour campaign. Fuck me.
Wow.
It's so fun, though. I played against the dev, and he obviously crushed me. But I was like, this is really fun.
You know what's interesting about it? It has 2 different price models. You can buy the multiplayer-only version for $9 or the full game for $23.
Interesting.
And you can upgrade at any time. You know, that's neat. I wish more games did that.
Yeah.
That would be a great model for even AAA games like Call of Duty, where people just want the multiplayer.
Yeah, and they did that recently with the latest one. They did a starter pack, which was $19.99, and you could play the multiplayer. You just didn't get the campaign. I don't think you got zombies either. I'm cool with that, because I don't want the fucking campaign. It's bullshit.
Oh, it has online and local multiplayer, which is actually pretty great.
That's nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good that they included that. This looks pretty neat. Yeah, it's a different. It's a match 3 arcadey competitive game. I've heard a lot of good things. I actually have code for this, so I think I'm going to check it out in an after hour over the next couple of days. Neat.
Next up is called 90 Minute Fever.
I would be lying if I said I knew anything about that one. 90
Minute Fever.
90 Minute Fever, $6 on Steam. It is an accessible yet deep football management MMO with no pay to win, they claim.
Ah.
Bear in mind, I know you guys are, you're all from the continent. I understand. But these games are fucking huge in Europe.
Football?
Football Manager is like the best-selling game in England, like every year. Like it crushes
everything. That's what Sam
everything.
was telling me.
Yes. So
Not
to have
FIFA, it's Football Manager. That's where the real money is.
Yeah, it's literally the Football Manager game.
Y'all mean soccer?
Wait.
No, we don't.
Y'all talking about soccer right now?
No, I'm gonna hit you with a shovel.
Do you play as a footballer in the game, or do you just manage a team?
You manage the team.
That says an awful lot about, I think, the British psyche in general. It's just like, I don't want to be on, I want to manage that team. I love that.
It's D&D for sports fans. That's what it is. It's always been that. And, it's all people it's people that play fantasy football taken to the next level of that.
Right.
All right, next.
The next game is called Millet Ant.
This pun sucks.
It looks so weird. You play like armored up ants and you kill other ants.
Ants with guns.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And it's called Millet Ant.
At
which point I just want to find the devs and push them down a well for that. That's terrible.
The next game is called Witan. Witan.
Witan. What would you do if you're accused of being a witch? Good question. I haven't thought about that. Old school RPG spelt with a K meets 3D walk/runabout and some other stuff. Great game description there, Steam. Thank you for that. Features, it's pretty, brackets, in a grim way.
What?
I've noticed a tendency lately for really shitty cheap games to have our game description is a giant joke. He. And it's that's not funny or useful.
Yeah. It only works if your game is also off the wall.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you're obviously not, so go away.
This next game is called Intersection.
An interdimensional physics puzzle game where you exist in the intersection of two worlds and must manipulate them to bypass objects. Nope. I'm too stupid.
The next one is called Anarcute.
Oh.
It's a rampaging riot simulator.
With cute animals.
Adorable aesthetics with huge scale chaos. Yeah, all the animals are adorable.
This looks really fun. So it reminds me a bit of Pikmin, I guess. You assemble a mob of cute animals, and then you just riot and destroy the city.
Yeah,
cute.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, if your mob gets big enough, you can literally destroy buildings with it. It sounds actually really fun. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Hope it's good.
Next game is called Rotgut. It's an action-packed platformer set in the 1920s Prohibition era.
Also, literally looks like a Game Boy game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks super old.
Very 8-bit.
But it says very positive on it.
It's got 88 reviews on it, which for an obscure game like this is tricky, and it actually looks like it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Huh. Nice surprise. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, next.
The next game is called Depths of Dread.
Depths of Dread. It is... it looks like a very old dungeon crawler. It's an old isometric looking dungeon crawler. Looks ancient, frankly. Looks like something that was on DOS in the 90s.
Wow, yeah. That is old school looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Not my sort of thing, gotta admit.
This next game is called Nightlight. And it looks like it's trying to be horror Minecraft.
It's another asset flip game. So people buy, there's companies that buy a bunch of assets off the Unity web store and literally just build a game out of it. I've seen a game that looks like this 5,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a zombie survival game, but it looks like Minecraft because I literally bought all the assets off the Unity store and didn't do a thing original myself. There are so many of these fucking things. So many. They're all the same and they're all shit.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Next up is called Push the Crate.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that this involves pushing crates. This also looks like a Unity asset flip game. 3D transport puzzle game with 100 level.
Push the crate.
Not levels, level.
Level.
The player pushes crates around, trying to get them to the target locations. Push the Crate is built with the Unreal Engine 4. Because you fucking need that for a game about pushing crates.
Wow, that does not look like Unreal Engine 4. Holy
It does
crap.
not. You can make some real shit in that. I remember when people were so hyped about a game coming out with the Cry engine, and it's like, oh, turns out you actually also have to have artistic talent to make that engine look good. It can look like absolute dog shit.
And
Oh dear. Next.
next is called Breakthrough Artificial Maze. It's a maze puzzle game. It's 3D. It looks nice. But yeah, it's just a puzzle game in a 3D world with mazes.
Yep. As you may have
Next
realized
up-
by now, there are a lot of bullshit games that come out on Steam every week. Next.
Next up is called Firefight.
It's a World War II RTS kind of war game. Pretty basic looking graphics. It's apparently kind of like the old Close Combat games. Remember those from a while ago?
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
I might try this out. I actually like the Close Combat games. They were really cool. It looks very basic, but it might be quite fun. Next.
Next up is called House of Alice.
Huh.
Oh, this is like a musical based. Is this what this one is?
It says
No,
that it's one where you're just like put into a really nice house and you can like walk around this really nice
Oh,
house.
this isn't what I thought this was at all. I
No.
don't know what the shit that is.
think
It's
it's
a
like
VR walking sim early
A
access
VR
thing.
kind of like escape into a beautiful
Yes.
home game.
It's an experience. I mean, that's the thing with VR now. You know, there are some experiences that are kind of neat, you know? That might be quite relaxing. It's like, hey, you got a shit house for 20 minutes. Now you don't.
Yeah.
Come to the House of Alice, where we make you feel bad for your shitty possessions.
The next game is called Super Mutant Alien Assault.
I actually played this last night, and it was surprisingly cool. It describes itself as a Super Crate Box clone. It's
Okay.
not quite that. Like, it doesn't seem to have all the same mechanics, but it's got a beautiful pixel art style. It's colorful as fuck. It reminds me of a Super Nintendo game, like Super Contra or something like that. It has some really fun weapons. It has a bunch of unlockables. I only played it for about 20 minutes, but I was actually enjoying myself with it. It's got a bunch of unlockable modes. It might be worth it if you're looking for a kind of Super Crate Boxy arcade action game, and it's like $9. It's the art. I mean, someone did some really good pixel art for this game. It's so colorful and looks so cool. The explosions look great. When the fucking aliens splat in big blood, it's like, this is Super Nintendo all over again, you know? So, yeah, don't dismiss that one based on its stupid name. It's actually pretty neat.
This next one is called The First Spark.
It's supposed to be the sequel to something called The Last Photon.
Yeah.
As to what it actually is, all the screenshots say text from the new story will be here.
That's
over
what I was
and
going to
over
say.
again.
All of the screenshots
Oh,
look like they're
God.
from the alpha.
They really do. Oh, dear Lord.
I'm so confused.
I think it's a puzzle platformer from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. Next up is called Warzone.
Really original sounding game. This... I think it is a kind of Hunger Games Battle Royale style game. From what I can tell. It's like 8 players go through 4 gates. Just make sure to get your guns before the others. So it's a multiplayer Battle Royale, I think.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
Cool.
I think.
The next one is called Hero. It's a 2D platformer game that is very simple in its art style. It doesn't look like there's anything super unique about it. Who knows?
Yep. Next.
The next game is Necropolis, which,
Yep, which we talked about.
The new Ghostbusters game came out today.
This looks terrible. Like,
Oh no!
it's $50 with
Really?
yeah, with DLC on launch day, and it just looks like a top-down co-op twin stick for $50. And it's a fucking film tie-in game. Of course it's probably not going to be good.
Man.
They sent me
All right.
code for that. They are brave men. Or women in this case. We'll see. Next.
The next game is Tank Battle North Africa.
I assume that's a historical
Looks like a top-down
tank
tank
sim.
battle game. Yeah.
Well, that's self-explanatory. Hex-based combat. Yeah, it's tank strategy. There's quite a few of
Yeah.
those. Next.
On July 13th, we have Toys of War.
It is... I'd love to know what this actually is. I think it's a... Is this a competitive action game? What the fuck does that even mean? I think it's just like a top-down arena multiplayer game where you play different military toys. I think that's what it is, from what I can tell.
Okay. The next game is called Under Night in Birth X Late. And
This fucking series.
it looks like it wants to be Guilty Gear really
It's
bad.
an anime fighter, is what it is.
It's not Guilty Gear. Yeah.
I've heard good things about this series as a fighting game, but it's one of those anime fighters that have a kind of very limited appeal. So, and it also has the stupidest name in existence.
Yeah,
So,
I don't. Whatever. Next game is called Pixeloids.
okay, Pixeloids. It's a top-down retro shoot 'em up. Looks like if Atari was good. Next.
Next up is Beat Ninja. Beat Ninja is a rhythm-based VR game where you cut up music. Actually
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Didn't they also release Fruit Ninja VR this week?
Oh,
That's-
did they?
Yeah, apparently it's getting surprisingly good reviews because, I mean, the Fruit Ninja gameplay with the VR and the dodging and the slashing actually
Yeah.
sounds like it would be fun.
That sounds like it would be fun for sure.
Man, if Fruit Ninja became the killer app for VR, what a world we'd live in.
Next up is called Ragdoll Runners.
Ragdoll Runners is... Oh god, physics-based track and... Basically, it's QWOP crossed with track and field.
Oh lord.
Fuck that!
Okay. Well, the next game is called Gravity Cat. It's just a very simple puzzle platformer where you're a cat.
Okay.
After that is Aquamoto Racing Utopia.
It's a jet ski racing game.
Great.
I love the idea of jet ski racing games. And also stuff like, you remember Hydro Thunder from ages ago? That arcadey speedboat game? That was awesome. And Wave Race, of course. Everyone remembers Wave Race 64. I hope this one doesn't suck. It'd be nice.
Next up is a game that I actually played before called
Yeah.
Crush Your Enemies. This game is really fun because it's like a take your army and kill the other army game, but everything is on one screen. You don't have to move around
Yes.
at all or like keep track of where people are. It's all just on one static screen and it's very fun.
Yeah, it's an arcadey kind of RTS with an interesting sense of humor, I found. I'm going to play the hell out of this, I think. This looks really interesting. There's also seems to be a bit of a revival lately of arcade RTS. There's a game in development right now from the guys that made Monaco called Tooth and Tail, which is a really awesome looking... The animals are at war, and they're wearing, like, World War I gear. There's, like, rats in gas masks and shit, and it's a sort of simplified RTS based around that idea. And it seems like this might have a similar notion to that, where it's like, people like the idea of strategy games, but strategy games are really hard. Let's see if we can make them easier to play. There's also a demo available for this, so yeah, I'm going to check this out. This looks pretty great.
Sick. The next game is called Alteric. It's a puzzle platformer where you're a square.
Great.
So there's that. The next game is called Daily Cthulhu.
What?
Canonical.
Yeah, it's Cthulhu, but I can't even fucking spell this. God damn it.
It's CHTHONICL, according to this.
Really? Chthonical?
Yes.
Canonical.
Oh, this looks kind of neat if it's good. The game lets you try the role of a supernatural newspaper agency boss and editor. The world takes place as dark and haunted, so you've got to... Do you have to create an actual newspaper? you have to send journalists and investigators and occultists out to investigate shit for your newspaper, but everything's like H.P. Lovecraft, so everyone's getting horribly murdered by space monsters. So that sounds interesting. That might be good.
Hopefully that's one of those games that like no one thought of, like Papers, Please, where it's a great idea and it ends up being a great game.
Hope so.
Yeah. The next game on July 14th is called The Agency, Chapter 1. It's a kinetic mystery novel and puzzle game.
Anime bullshit, basically.
Yeah, definitely anime bullshit.
We do not name the next game.
The next game is called Rochambeau.
Great, there we go. That's fine.
Rochambeau!
I mean, is that literally just rock, paper, scissors?
Probably.
It is a free arena fighting game based on rock, paper, scissors.
Ah.
Okay. I don't know if this is any good. I like the art style. I think it's like it looks pretty neat. I mean, it looks like kind of one of those congregate games with that kind of art style. But I think it is literally a fighting game crossed with rock, paper, scissors. All right. Sure.
Next is House of Snark 6 and 1.
We already
bundle.
did this, didn't we? Yeah, they pushed that back.
Yeah, it's a hidden object bundle.
Yeah.
Clocky is the next one.
Minimal puzzle game.
Klocki.
Yep.
What was it?
It's called. It's literally its description is minimal puzzle game. That's it.
Great. Well, right after that is Ducky Dash.
Ducky Dash.
Ducky Dash.
Ducky Dash. Not Ducky Dush. Dush isn't a word. Ducky Dash is a casual racing game. Oh, Jesus Christ, you play a fucking rubber duck.
Oh,
Thank fuck for that. Next.
Next is called Rabbit Island. I don't understand. Well, it's a strategy game, it looks like. Or is it a tower defense? What? I actually have no idea what this is.
It's a tower defense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tower defense with blocky, kind of crossy roadish animals in it for some
blocks
reason.
that look like you're playing Mahjong over there. Like,
It actually, yeah, it looks like that too. You're right. Weird.
all right.
All right. Well, the next one is called Cosmic Cavern 3671.
Well, the question is, what
that's
happened to
VR is what that is.
3670? Oh, this originally came out in 1980. It was a Japanese tactical digging game.
That
It
is
existed
not
prior
VR
to
at all.
Dig Dug. I've never heard of it, but apparently this influenced a lot of different games. And apparently the guy that made it was the guy that did the art for stuff like Pac-Man and Galaxian.
What?
So, like, he's old school. Yeah. Interesting.
Next game is Soviet Monsters Ekranoplans. It's a ship game. Oh, it's plane game.
Manage resources and staff to keep your craft operational. Interesting. What else is it, though?
I don't know.
It has
can't
exciting
tell.
and realistic missions and faithful handling, except I don't know. I think this is a seaplane game.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
ships, planes, ship planes.
It's claiming about realistic handling, but I'm pretty sure none of these things exist. I'm looking at this as
Yeah.
like, that is not a thing that existed ever.
I
That,
think
Those
you're trying
designs
to
are janky.
like Kerbal
Yeah.
space program your way into making
Yes.
a ship and then fly it around on missions, I guess is the
I think that is what it
Float
is.
it around.
Yeah.
Float it
Yeah.
around on missions.
Uh-huh.
float it.
The next game is called Dead Age.
I bet it's a zombie game. Yep. Survive the zombie outbreak with Final Fantasy-like turn-based combat and permadeath. Manage survivors, craft materials, make difficult decisions. And apparently it's got FTL-like non-linear elements to it. It actually doesn't look awful. I can't imagine why I'd ever want to play a zombie game that had a Final Fantasy-like combat system, but okay. Sure, why not?
Next up is called Crime Secrets Crimson Lily, which is a hidden object game.
Oh, you didn't let me use my powers. I was going to call that. Next.
Next up is Push Me, Pull You.
Oh, I've heard about this.
I've heard about this too. I don't remember what it is though.
It's a weird-ass multiplayer game where you're all joined at the waist. It's a kind of a mixture of Snake and wrestling. It's a weird multiplayer game. It reminds me of Mount Your Friends a little bit.
Right.
Apparently, it's in the veins of Sports Friends. It is apparently very, very enjoyable in a local setting. As far as I can tell, it has no online multiplayer. So, It looks weird as fuck.
Characters remind me of Cat Dog.
Yes, yeah, I got that vibe too.
That's so silly.
Yeah, it'll probably be fun though.
The next one is called Quell Zen. It's just a chill logic puzzle game.
Sure.
The one after that is Shadows of Kurgansk.
Well, that's Russian.
Hmm.
It's an early access zombie survival game, I think.
Fucking damn it.
Concept.
Oh dear. Yep. And it's in early. Stop making these! Please! None of them are good. Next.
Next one, this looks awesome to me, is called Blasters of the Universe. It's a VR shoot and stuff game.
This looks like it would give me like seizures.
God.
It's so colorful.
Yeah.
But it looks like you have a shield on one hand.
Yeah.
If you can actually like hold your shield up and block incoming bullets and shit, that sounds like I'd play the fuck out of that.
That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's a shmup, but you're in VR. You have to dodge, and you got a shield to block shit. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this. This might be a reason for me to actually play some VR because this actually looks good. You're right. It looks really good.
Too much going on in that.
Maybe. Maybe.
Next up is called Search and Kill.
I bet that's a very relaxing game. Oh wow, it's so edgy that it's not only search and kill, but it is search and kill with a skull and crossbones in the title.
Oh.
You know you're hardcore when you get emojis in your Steam title. This looks fucking awful. It's a video game. Yes. For
Right,
all
sure.
fans of the multiplayer FPS. Not just some of them, all of them. Search for enemies and kill them. Will you make it?
Maybe.
Looks like shit.
It kind of doesn't look brilliant. Next.
Next up is called Raw Data. It's another VR game.
Mhm.
It looks like it's a sci-fi VR game where you might be a robot.
A robot or a robot?
A robot.
You're just making up words again to sound cute.
You might be a robot. I'm not sure.
Because fuck you for that. It doesn't work. It's
Go
terrible.
solo or team up with a friend in a futuristic techno thriller. Techno thriller? I've never heard that term before.
Oh, yeah, techno thriller? Yeah. That's a great term. I love techno thrillers.
Cool. Well, that looks cool. On July 15th, we have Domain Defense.
Say tower defense game. It has 4-player versus and co-op though. You know, I like competitive tower defense. I think those are actually quite fun. I remember playing you remember playing Wintermore Wars in Warcraft 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the shit right there.
The next game is called Might, but is very hard to find because guess what? There are lots of Might and Magic games.
Yeah. I found it. It is a team arena brawler with fast and fun combat. Choose from many different classes. It looks like it is. Yeah, it seems, from what I can tell, it's like Bloodline Champions. So it's a kind of arena game, but with Dota-style abilities.
Okay.
Next.
Next is called Exzeal. It is the follow-up to Trizeal, and I think it's a bullet hell. It looks like a bullet hell to me.
Oh dear. Okay.
The next game is called Muvlove, MUV-LUV.
There's Muvlove and Muvlove VR. Muvlove looks like anime bullshit. Yep, it's anime bullshit. It's anime booby visual novel is what it is.
Whoa, Muvlove.
Okay.
Love.
There's also a VR version of Muvlove, apparently,
Okay.
Oh, no, that's totally different. That's
which
a
is
totally
not
different-
even close to the same game. Wow, that one's a shooter. What the fuck is this? That's so weird.
That is weird.
It almost
They're
looks
not even
unauthorized, like they've nicked some shit. Huh. Alright.
Next up is another bullet hell. It's called Witchbot Meglillo.
Okay.
And yeah, it's another
I don't think we have many
Flash
bullet hell.
game looking bullet hell game.
Yeah, we don't have many bullet hell experts on the show, I think, at this point.
No. The next one is Adventure Lamp.
A bouncy puzzle platformer about hat physics. Lose your hat over and over as you solve puzzles, smash slime, and hop your way out of a dangerous cave. Next.
It's on his. I'll give it. Lose your hat over and over.
I mean, sure. Is that a selling point? I'm not convinced, but okay.
Lost my hat.
Anything but the hat. Next.
Next is called Bird of Light, an action strategy platformer with a twist.
What's the twist?
Place
It doesn't say,
bridge
does it?
tiles to create paths through levels in the sky.
How's that a twist?
Maybe?
That's not a twist.
I don't know.
The fuck is this?
I don't fucking know. You're a little farm girl. You're doing shit. I don't
So you're
know.
not a bird? What else is the point of that then?
At least there's no zombies.
I think we found the twist. The twist is that you're not a bird.
Maybe you're looking for the bird. Your
The bird of
quest
light?
is to find the bird of light
Maybe the bird is you.
inside.
We can all be birds if we want to be.
It's true. You can dance if you want to. Next game is called Ghost Sweeper.
It is a platformer,
Great.
I think. Next.
Next is RimWorld. It is a colony
Oh.
simulator.
Ooh, hold on.
So RimWorld has been... It's been in early access on their site for a while. It's... I saw quite a few, like... There's a few Twitch streamers that play this, and it gets very popular, because it's... You know, there's this holy grail when it comes to video games, which is make Dwarf Fortress, only not as impenetrable as Dwarf Fortress.
Right.
RimWorld, from what I've heard, has been the game that's got closest to that.
Okay.
You sort of build up a base on a world. It's all sort of top down. All sorts of weird shit happens. You have to manage the colonists' moods and everything like that. You have to gather resources, trade with passing ships. Like, it's a everything simulator. It's a sort of literal survival simulator. I've heard a lot of good things about RimWorld, actually. It's interesting that it's finally coming to Steam. It's coming in early access. That game is nowhere near done, but I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of it before. It's pretty
think
fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, you start with 3 people that you drop in from a ship, and you have to build everything from there. And the only way to get more people is to take raiders prisoner and have someone trained in speech to convince them to join you, and then that sort of thing. So yeah, it's kind of hard. It's very tough. You can die really easy, then you have to start over. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
The graphics are very prison architect style.
Yeah, I got that vibe, totally.
Mhm.
Next.
Looks like a game I would love called Don't Drop the Bass. And it's a game where it's like hot potato, and you're trying not to be
With
the
a
one who
fish.
drops the
With a giant
bass.
fish. You got to make sure you don't drop the fish. That's the game.
Don't drop the bass, everybody. The next
Local
game
multiplayer.
is called Turner.
Turner.
Mm-hmm.
2D puzzle platformer. The gimmick is you turn the world around. I feel that's been done before. Next.
Next is called Adventure Apes and the Mayan Mystery.
It is... Oh, God, I want to kill them for this. Their description is Go Ape Bit.
Stop.
No. No. It's apparently a Metroidvania game with monkeys. Next.
Next is called Doodler. It's another just kind of platformy game. Looks like it might have some interesting mechanics to it, but overall it looks like a very simple platformy game. And then on the 18th we have a game called Jacob.
According to this, Jacob is a game about life. And yet
That's literally what it says.
That's literally what it says, yeah.
It's an evidence-based puzzle. I think it seems to be sponsored by some educational institutions. It's a puzzle game with a scientific twist. It's an evidence-based
with
puzzle game.
ladders. Get it?
Jacob's Ladder, yeah. I get it. That's pretty much it until next week, right?
That's it, yeah.
Yep. Cool, we're finally through it. There's about 3 or 4 interesting-looking games in there, and the rest looks like crap. But that's Steam, ladies and gentlemen. That's just how it is. All right, we finally reached the end of the show. Thank you very much for watching. Big thanks to our sponsor today, crunchyroll.com/TotalBiscuit. Go there for a free 30-day trial of unlimited anime.
Power.
And power.
Liars. I'd like to thank our special guest today, DansGaming. Thank you very much for coming on the show today. Where can people go to find your stuff, and what are you planning on doing this week? What games are you going to be streaming? What's going to be going on?
I am primarily only on Twitch. It's /DansGaming on Twitch. My Twitter, YouTube, everything's DansGaming. So it's easy to find me. I'll be continuing Morrowind this week. And then trying out a game probably tomorrow called Polybridge that came out today.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that game is really fun if you like physics-based puzzles.
Yeah.
Which I'll be playing that tomorrow.
Awesome. So that's twitch.tv/DansGaming, and do make sure to abuse that global emote, which is Dan's Game with capitalized D and a G. Don't fuck it up, because that's very, very embarrassing for you. So yes, do go and check that out. Dodger, what's coming out on your channel this week? What's going on?
I don't know, stuff.
Great planning. Excellent.
Stuff's like sort of up in the air right now. We're trying to finish up that dumb Sherlock Holmes game. I'm gonna be recording with this guy. Wait, where is he?
He's diagonal.
This guy.
There you go.
Tomorrow for his channel.
We gotta. The internet's like, bro, what's the next episode? I'm like, I got
fuck is the next live stream?
I got no more. I got
on you. So there's that. More Hustle Cat coming eventually, and just general fun stuff. If you'd like to watch my streams, they're at twitch.tv/dexteritybonus, and I've been streaming 5 days a week now. So yeah, come hang.
Jesse.
Yo, shout outs to everyone going to Evo this weekend. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have the most fun. This is the first year I haven't been in forever, but I have to work. I gotta do stuff. So, streaming twitch.tv/Abuzi. More stuff on the channel, the YouTube channel. So, youtube.com/Jesse Cox. And if you want to follow me on Twitter and see me yell at you for being dum-dums when I mention political things, by all means, at Jesse Cox.
Also, hashtag Team Valor. Join Team Red.
Also,
this crap again.
Hashtag Team Myth. Hashtag
Team Valor. Team Valor.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Other
people on
Game.
One podcast to make it this equivalent.
Sounds like a Team Mystic thing to say.
Red or dead.
Red or dead.
Red already dead inside.
Accurate. Yes.
Stuff's going on this week. My Necropolis video just came out. Spoilers, I had definitely some issues with that game. If you're going to play it, I recommend you play it in co-op, because in single player it's a bit BS. Outside of that, I got code for the Ghostbusters game. Do I want to play that? I really don't. Should I? Maybe. I do. Also, I need to do Inside. Inside is a game that I have not got to yet. There's also a game called Lost Sea that we talked about, I think, a show or two ago that seemed really, really good. I'm going to have a look at that. And there was a couple of games that did pop up in this little...
Terraria.
No, not that. No, Terraria. In this little release list that seemed kind of interesting. So I might be checking those out. I occasionally stream every now and again. I usually announce it on Twitter, and I also announce it on the Twitch feed. So if you follow the stream, you'll be made aware of that. And that's pretty much it, I think. Thank you very much for watching the show. Very much appreciate that. And big thanks again to our sponsor this week, crunchyroll.com/TotalBiscuit. Big thanks to our guest, DansGaming. Go make sure you follow him on all the social media, all of the Twitch. Our guest next week, going to be a little bit of a change of pace. We are inviting Mike Footer, who is one of the senior writers at Game Informer, to the show. Who's been one of the only journalists whose shit I actually still read, because it's not awful. So that will be very interesting. He's been a long-time listener to the podcast. We're going to bring him on the
confirmed.
show. Yep,
Unlike
I confirm him.
It's
not awful.
He works with.
Indeed. We're going to rib him about GameStop for hours on end. It's going to be very interesting. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
My music's still broken, isn't it? So
We'll make the music. Now we're leaving. Co-option.
We are leaving. It's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Hang out next time on the show. Yeah.
I think I preferred the silence.